The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Stunner! Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Here we go, the Pat McAfee Show. I'm AJ Hawk sitting in Pat's desk today. As you can see, the young man behind us on the back wall from Ann Arbor, Michigan. Pat is with us. Football's back. Football is here to stay, right, Pat? Last night, obviously, the Chiefs take on the Ravens. The Chiefs win 27-20 in an absolute barn burner situation. I'm looking over here. It doesn't matter. Pat's right here. Pat, welcome in. What did you think of the great game last night?
I thought it was very late, okay? That was a late night. Obviously, had to stay awake for the entirety of it because Lamar Jackson put his team in a position to not only tie that game and send it to OT, maybe for the kickoff of the NFL season, but win that game. Mike Tirico had one of the greatest calls on a touchdown that won't count all year with Likely's toe stepping out of bounds. And then he even mentioned before it was overturned, he said, wait a minute, they're going to send out and go for two as well. Could you imagine if this NFL season started with Baltimore Ravens going for two with 0 seconds left on the clock to win and beat the reigning, defending, undisputed, back-to-back Super Bowl champs? Well, it doesn't happen because the toes out of bounds in Coach Prime's shoes. What a game. I love the way Likely handled this situation. I like the way Lamar Jackson handled this situation. They lose by 7. The Chiefs cover. The over hits 47. Okay, over under at 46.5. All right. 66% of the money was on Baltimore +3. So the sports books are swinging a hot fucking bat early. We need to know that that is the case, and we need to look at these lines accordingly. But that game was awesome, electrifying. And I put out a tweet last night. I think it's very real. And we talked about it in the Thunderdome off camera a couple different times. Like, you know, I have a baby now. You know, me and my wife have a 16-month-old, you know. And this entire off season, it's been pretty nice, you know, just go ahead and maybe pass out 9:30. 9:45. Wake up early with the baby, obviously. It's a dream come true, having beautiful Mackenzie. And I've become a kind of a morning person through this. My entire life, I've been powered by the moon, not by the sun, so I'm a nocturnal animal, nocturnal creature. But I've become a morning person because of Mackenzie and the life that you have to live. These primetime games are late. That game getting delayed because of the storm that they had in Kansas City. And then thank you to the football gods not bringing the rain while they were playing. But that thing ended real late, and I almost fell asleep the entire time as a golf cart rolls through as they're trying to get the big house ready for a massive game tomorrow at noon. So what a start. What a phenomenal start for the NFL. And big shout out to both those teams showing up, AJ. And thank you for driving to the Thunderdome and hosting on this beautiful Friday, Feel Good Friday.
Oh, hey, I love being here with the boys and helping out wherever I can. But I don't. From the game last night, like that thing exceeded any expectations, I think. I don't know what the boys all think. Ty, I might ask you real quickly, like what did you think going into this game? Did you think the Chiefs were going to find a way to get a win? And also, the whole illegal formation situation really kind of overshadowed, I believe, at least the first half of that thing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think we understood pretty quickly, okay, this is a point of emphasis, but it was crazy that we got 15 flags, right away like that, or however many it was. But I don't know, we talked about it a little bit yesterday before the show, how it kind of felt like a Ravens game, and then as we talked about it more and more, and Chuck had all his stats and analytics about the game, it was like, listen, the Chiefs are still the Chiefs, and we saw so many examples of that.
Xavier Worthy, okay.
Yeah,
that's a heck of a way to start your NFL career, isn't it, Pat? This guy's unbelievable.
Yeah, first touch, fastest man in the history of the NFL Combine, and obviously the fact that he landed at the Kansas City Chiefs at pick 28 after the Buffalo Bills trade. I mean, there's going to be a lot of conversations about that. Well, AJ, we talked about it at the time, and then after he scores a touchdown, the first time he touches the rock, and then he has another one on opening night because Andy Reid is able to disguise and put so much sauce on all these plays that Xavier Worthy is going to find himself wide open. When we saw it in training camp, the videos of Xavier Worthy all by himself and Patrick Mahomes hitting, we immediately thought to ourselves, oh, this is what it was when Tyreek Hill was there. You have so many other weapons, you have so many other options that if you give a guy with that much speed enough time, especially with Patrick Mahomes' bullshit, which he was back on last night, Xavier Worthy's going to be able to figure out how to get open. Like, that is just something that's going to happen. So they have another added piece to their team that nobody's going to be able to keep up with on the defensive side. They're going to have to account for. Travis Kelce showed up not early, but he ended up showing up anyways. And what Travis Kelce was doing last night, blocking, putting his body on the line, dude just got paid, has a new haircut. Obviously, him and Taylor still together. Look at this play for their touchdown, and Pacheco runs in there. Travis Kelce motions in. He's lead block. This is Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift's boyfriend, husband, fiance, whatever it is.
Too. Digging a D lineman out there in the goal line.
Man.
Goal line against the Baltimore Ravens. And then the second circle there is Patrick Mahomes, the next GOAT, the man who's on a quest to win 3 straight Super Bowls nobody's ever done, already won 3 at the age of 27, already rich, already a Hall of Famer, already in GOAT discussions. He's ducking his head and trying to move a pile in this is the first game against the Baltimore Ravens, a goal line. It's like when you watch this Kansas City Chiefs team, you can't help but be excited that we're alive during this era. What the New England Patriots were able to do for 20 years was obviously awesome, and we're lucky to talk to Bill Belichick, and we're thankful that handsome Tom Brady was playing football while we become football fans. But this team, they don't mind being a heel. They showcased that in the playoffs last year. But they go to work. They lay it all on the line for their team. Their best players work the hardest. And like that touchdown there for Pacheco, and he learned it after the game. He was doing an interview with somebody from ESPN. I forget what it was. And the lady who was doing the interview says, like, hey, do you know Patrick Mahomes is the one that pushed you in there? He said, I felt the second push it. He's like, yeah, that's Patrick Mahomes. And he was like, what does that say? And he was like, that's family right there. It's like this team has accomplished so much. This team has so much of the spotlight. This team could become self-centered, arrogant assholes at any moment, and everybody would understand how and why, and there has been a precedent of that before. It's just human nature. But instead, they seem to be grittier. They seem to be more together. And Patrick Mahomes ducking his head into this pile. I mean, just especially with the knee injury that has happened in these types of situations, Carson Wentz and him in the past, and this is opening night, and he's crawling on the ground. It's like, this Chiefs team's awesome, but do not take away from the Baltimore Ravens. Dude, I do not. I saw a lot of people chit-chatting about Lamar Jackson missing Zay there and yada, yada, yada. It's like Lamar Jackson's a dog. Whenever he gets open and gets free, he was lowering his shoulder on people as well. What a treat for the NFL to give us that last night on opening night. Legit.
To your point, Pat, like that showed it there on the goal line with Pacheco, with Kelce and Mahomes digging it out. But like the Ravens and the Chiefs were both playing that like it was an AFC championship game. Like both of them. Like Lamar ran it 16 times. Like normally, like a lot of people would say like Lamar run it. He's not going to be able to run it 16 times.
He also had like a 45-yarder called back with Holden, right?
Yeah, 16. Yeah. And he was, and we always talk about how Lamar is really, really good at not taking hits. Like he didn't care last night. He was lowering his shoulder.
At all.
No, he was lowering his shoulder trying to get first downs on like third and short stuff like that. But both teams, like you could tell they really, really wanted week one. Both teams were super impressive. And to your point about Lamar, like that's who Lamar. Lamar's going to miss some throws here and there. But other than that, he was very, very, very impressive. Like you could tell how bad Lamar wanted last night.
And there's a chance that Lamar thought Zay was going to sit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know,
I think didn't they say that? Didn't he say he thought he was going to sit down maybe? It's like that's classic miscommunication. Like that's first game things that happen in the first game of the season, I think. This isn't like I don't think this is a miss. I think he thought he was sitting down.
Yeah, people thought like Lamar missed him by that much. It's like I think in Lamar they have the back view. Lamar thought he was just going to chill right there because he was wide open. Zay moved. Zay's very fast, so I think it looks a lot worse than it probably actually was. Mm-hmm. And even then, they still had an opportunity to win the game with likely at the catch and everything like that. So I think the Lamar haters are always going to try to find something, to get him. And the fact that he hasn't won a Super Bowl, they'll hang over his head. And the fact that the Chiefs, I mean, if you think about the punch out by Snead, right, that's half a yard in the AFC Championship. And then this is literally a toe. The last two times. It's like the amount of spite and the amount of motivation that can be built up by this Ravens team to carry them for the rest of the year, let alone the Chiefs seemingly showing up on night one, understanding like, hey, we got to go for it. So I can't wait for tonight. I can't wait for the Packers and Eagles tonight. Now, you mentioned the illegal formations.
Yep.
I reached out to a source. That's it, because I said A before that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because you can't say A sources, then we sound like doofuses.
We would have made it work.
Correct. That's why we didn't go with it.
I reached out to source says at the NFL office about the illegal formations. I said, I'm about sick of this. We all are. Okay, this is not what we're tuning into this game for. I understand it was a conversation last year, but we had not heard about this all offseason. In the internet, everybody was like, come on. Let's play a little football. So I sent a text to source
says
in the NFL office, and I say, illegal formation, point of emphasis, obviously, and how long does this last? How long does this last? Basically got this response back. General emphasis is to clean up the line of scrimmage early here, so we don't have to deal with this all season, because remember last year it lingered all year, like the conversation. General, and I guess teams have been informed that this is going to be the case. The ones that were called were only supposed to be egregious ones as a point of emphasis, but then there was a lot of people that are saying, well, they won't call it on the Chiefs. Is that because Taylor Swift was there? And they're just like setting themselves up, I think, for any point of emphasis to be kind of handled that way by the crowd reaction. But I think we should all understand from the message that I got that this is not just like a ticky-tack call they're going to do all year, because literally if you're looking for it, you could probably call it every single time and people would be understanding, because getting off on the snap of the ball by a tackle is a skill that is worked, a trait that is studied, and it is like a weapon. But I think they're just trying not to make it linger all year like it did last year, with people getting upset about the fairness and the unfairness. And obviously last night it's already started, but I think that is a point of emphasis, and I think it's just going to be something that they are trying to kind of sort out now, so I don't have to deal with it all year, AJ.
Well, I think, too, they mentioned on the broadcast, like, it felt like they were trying to send a message to the 30 other teams that are watching this game, like, hey, this is a thing. We're going to cut this off right now. We don't want this to linger, like you said, throughout the season. But you're right. They didn't call any on the Chiefs. I guess they didn't really seem egregious. All of them didn't seem egregious, but they also don't do a great job, I think, of explaining exactly what the rule is. Like, technically, there you go, protect yourself. Protect the temple.
Good move.
There we go.
Sun is strong.
You get it right in your eyeballs.
There was supposed to be no sun. I read the Dolphins like goddamn DiNardo last night. We didn't even know if we're going to be able to do it out here because potential lightning striking, and we knew there was potential to be overcast. We got some of the brightest sun I've ever seen popping through some of these clouds. Now, we got some dark, doomy clouds up here in the great state of Michigan that are rolling through, but it was supposed to be overcast. It was supposed to be 62. Look at this. I got a black button down on. Black button down.
Looks like there's a nice breeze rolling in.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little windy. I don't know what that means. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of workers here trying to set up the big house for the big game tomorrow. But I can't be getting 30-degree burns here week 3 of this entire season like I did at Alabama last year. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. Man.
Yeah.
They're vicious.
That was bad. I think it's going to happen. Obviously, my skin cooks quickly, both from the inside and the outside. That's part of being from the Caucasus Mountains. But whenever you talk about great venue, this place has been so incredibly hospitable. Now, let's get back to it. You're 100% right, though. It did feel like it's a message, which is the point of emphasis every single year, especially in primetime games. Remember when it was helmet-to-helmet shit? Yep. It was like they were calling it like everything the first
landing
couple
on the
weeks.
quarterback, too. Remember when they implemented, you can't land any weight on the quarterback? It was like, how are we supposed to tackle this guy? Now, guys have adjusted. Now, we can adjust alignments for sure, but every single offensive line right now today in their walkthrough, that's all they're talking about. Say, get on the line of scrimmage. Your head needs to break like the belt line of the center, which a lot of people, I don't think that makes sense to most people. Do you know how to explain that?
Yeah, so it's basically, it's on special teams too. This is a big deal for special teams, for field goal units and for punt teams. Basically, end tackle, whatever it is, third person out from center, guard, third person out is always trying to steal space, right? Because space gives you more time. But the part of your body, and I think it's supposed to be your head because of the way you're positioned, is supposed to cut the ass of the center. Has to be able to cut the ass of the center, I do believe, is the entire goal, which is why I think Coach Dan Casey put this out, and then Ari obviously put it out as well, which is why they're drawing it from the ass, not from the ball. So if you have a 6'8" center, not that Linderbaum is, they got a guard that is that, who has a long torso and is able to extend from the ball, you got quite an advantage out there at tackle. But if it's a standard upper-bodied human bent over at center, they're trying to make it more straight so it's not as bowing. But every tackle, every end is going to try to get space since the beginning of time. That's kind of what it is. And it feels like the NFL is like, all right, we've gone too far now. We're not jumping early. We got to at least be up across near the line of scrimmage, and then we'll keep it moving. There's going to be some tackles. I don't know.
Your feet can stay in the same spot. Like your feet, like Stanley's feet could have been there, but if he could somehow lean his head,
that's what Juwan Taylor does.
Yeah, that's what he was doing.
That's what that's the whole thing. You're practicing your stance.
Like Stanley's got it. Stanley was straight up and down.
He just needs.
And then Juwan Taylor was leaned forward with his head,
and
they were in the same exact spot.
Which is crazy because your feet can be the same spot, but your head has to cross their belt line. That's a big deal. Like I wonder if sack number is going to be up because of this.
Yeah, I think so, especially whenever you talk about like away games and crowd and everything, because that's where it's a big deal. But they got to do that no allows lean.
You got
when he won.
Correct.
Before COVID.
Pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID.
COVID killed
no. Yeah, the no allows lean. So maybe that's a new tactic. Hey, need you to be off balance on your toes. If we want to win, you got to throw everything aside that you've learned from a technical standpoint about being offensive line. But they'll game it somehow. They'll figure it out. And I think the NFL knows that nobody's watching that game last night to watch illegal formations get called on tackles. You know, we got Patrick Mahomes there. We got Lamar Jackson. We got Travis Kelce. We got Derrick Henry scoring the first touchdown of the year. What were the odds on that, Con Man?
First touchdown was plus 500. I think him just to score was minus 110.
How about Xavier Worthy to score a tud last night? And shout out to him on our fantasy team. Shout out to him on our fantasy
unbelievable. Xavier Worthy was like plus 185. But with Xavier Worthy, and you mentioned how the Chiefs are the new Patriots, and that's absolutely true. But if that is true, when you look at the Patriots, the teams who are competing against them in their dynasty, the Colts and Peyton Manning, Big Ben and the Steelers, of course, Flacco and the Ravens. And for the Chiefs now, it's Buffalo, it's Baltimore still, of course. But they would never, ever in a million years make a trade with the team that is going to win. And I know that it was touched upon many times about the Buffalo Bills trading that pick to KC so that they could get Xavier Worthy. And I'm a Patriots fan, so I naturally don't like the Bills. But I am genuinely calling for everyone in the NFL who wants to win a Super Bowl and wants their team win to hate the Buffalo Bills because it is ridiculous. It's absolutely asinine that they let this happen. I'm not even kidding. Even if they didn't want Xavier Worthy, take someone else. You don't just give the pick away to Kansas City so they can get this guy who traded up to get this guy. Like, it's bullshit. It really is. It pisses me off.
Preach, brother.
Like, it genuinely
Preach, brother.
pisses me off, man. Like, how does this happen? Like, how do you let a guy like this go play with Patrick Mahomes? And not to mention, like, Rashee Rice looked like the fastest guy I've ever seen last night. I mean, he was unbelievable. They didn't even use Kelce, man. And, like, I get it. Like, okay, cool. Like, they're going for 3 in a row. That's really sweet. Making history, 4 Super Bowls in 5 years. But, I mean, to quote the final boss, and you know what, I actually won't because I don't want to drop an F-bomb right now, but, like, actually screw that. It is so dumb that they let Xavier Worthy go to the Chiefs, not just let them, basically put him in a box present and was like, hey, here, Kansas City, from Buffalo, from the team that can't beat you, that we bitched and changed the rules so that we could beat you at home, maybe get another possession in overtime. Take the fastest guy that has ever ran the 40, and then maybe it'll work out for you. Like, it really does just grind my gears that he is on the Chiefs. It is bullshit, and they are going to win a 3rd Super Bowl now. And look, I'm not like a hater. It's a great time to be rooting for. It's a great time to have a bad.
Not a hater at all.
I'm not.
Not a hater.
Because it's a great time to be rooting for a bad team because no one's beating the Chiefs and the Patriots aren't competing for a Super Bowl this year, and I'm happy they aren't because nobody's going to beat KC either, and it's just ridiculous that the Buffalo Bills, who are in that, hey, let's go get a Super Bowl category, traded Xavier Worthy to Kansas City. It's just bullshit, man.
You know something about Xavier Worthy? Are we supposed to pronounce the X or not? I'm not 100% sure.
When we were calling his college game, I believe they said Xavier Worthy.
Okay. Like, X-Man's sick, so I'm happy to hear that.
I'm not positive by any means.
I suck at English.
Yeah, I mean, English is a tough language. Why do you drive in a parkway and park in a driveway? Like there's all that shit.
How do we pronounce the college in Ohio?
Which one?
Ohio State?
No, the one with the X.
Oh, that's without an X. That's
Xavier.
Yeah, so that's how
Xavier.
I go.
But that's not Xavier Worthy.
Okay.
Whatever the case, Xavier Worthy, fastest guy in the history of the NFL Combine. There's been a lot of fast people. I mean, that is one of the fastest tracks that there is, obviously. He took some hits, too. On the sideline, he took a hit. I want to see if he'd be able to get up because he's undersized, right? That's like a big part of the whole game with Xavier Worthy is like, is this guy going to be able to stand in the NFL with adults hitting him and tackling him and landing on him and rolling on him and all that type of shit? And it's like he took a couple hits, and I saw him. I think he did one of these. He did one of these, and then I think he turned that son of a bitch upside down. I don't know if that's how he's going to separate himself from CeeDee Lamb, but I was interested because he's going to be a massive piece of highlights all season for the NFL. And I have to be corrected because I did not see this, so I do apologize. We had game day meetings. I didn't see that in the post-game presser. Lamar Jackson said he didn't even see Zay. He was throwing it to Bateman. Yeah. I apologize for missing that. Makes even more sense now that, like, obviously, that entire situation doesn't look good. He thought Bate would stop whenever he made eye contact. First game of the year, these types of things are going to take place. And they...
Well, big pop. Wow.
What's up, boys? What's up, lads? I don't know if we're going to be able to get him on camera. There is... Hey, who are you? Who are you?
Swimming.
That's a swim team. Swim team.
Man, they bring the juice.
Yeah.
I think they got
hell yeah, boys. Hey, good to see you, boys. Michael Phelps, the whole squad. Yeah, we're doing it. Yep. Hell yeah. Let's swim the shit out of those pools, boys. Good luck out there. Hell yeah, boys.
I didn't know the big house had a pool in it.
Yeah.
Me neither.
It's got
Those
everything.
guys, we got a punter out here punting right now.
Okay.
What is this?
Uh-oh. Is that their punter?
What's up, dude? Okay, is this normal? You hitting on Fridays? Normal? Okay, sick. Oh, returners are trying to get some balls in here.
Oh,
Those guys hitting bombs.
Are they going to be out there doing like a walkthrough or something?
Extra preparation.
Be cool.
I have no idea. Sharon and Coach Wink Martindale are here to join in a few minutes. This guy's booming the ball, though. I heard a good boom there.
Oh, wow.
Lefty.
That didn't turn that one over. Didn't turn that one over. This guy's got some.
Could hear the
this
pop,
guy-
though.
Is he,
Yeah,
do you
this
think
guy's
he's
got
the starter,
real
Pat?
juice.
Would you kick the day before a game?
Number 90. We should give a check. Would I kick? I took 2 days off before games for no kicking, but I punted and kicked off. Kicking off is a lot of energy, so I wanted to be juice. Like I wanted to feel the juice. There are kickers that kick back-to-back days though for games. Like they set up their week to kick the day before, get some balls that either turn over or go through the uprights, and then they go to bed and then they carry that into the next day. Then they probably take like 2 days off after game. You know, managing reps is a big thing that's very new to kicking and punting and pitching and all these things. But in high school, I mean, this guy he's murdered a fucking ball there.
I don't think he's the starter.
Hey, what year are you, brother? Junior. He's got a fucking leg. This guy just murdered a ball right there. I mean, that. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother. What's his name, Tone? I mean, fucking hey. Do we
Hudson Z just said
Hudson Holenbeck.
Oh, great name.
Hey, baby, honey.
like the river.
Hell yeah. He's not the starter, or he is the starter?
No.
No.
I'll tell you what, teams need to be looking.
He's
I don't know if there's a
grinding.
transfer portal. This guy hits. That's a fucking nuke.
Putting on a show,
Oh
Hudson.
no! Oh no! I don't want to talk about it, but returner did not catch that ball. Right through his hands. So if Texas punters watching, and maybe put that thing high, and we got that thing. No, I don't know if it's a starting returner either. That's 100% on me. Should do more research. So awesome here. This is an active stadium. You know that.
Okay.
There he is.
Okay, Hudson.
Collierville transfer school is from Mississippi State. Redshirt sophomore.
Hell yeah.
Sophomore. Hey, he's got a good mustache in that photo. He
does.
It's good moxie. Hey, what do you think of the kickoffs?
You follow this ball? Can you follow this ball?
Oh, can they? Oh, they got PTZ?
Fuck, wrong.
Wow.
It's
a big ball.
It's all right.
Nah,
It's inside the 10, probably.
Come on, Huddy. Come on, Huddy.
Pressure's on, brother. Kick the ball.
Huddy, we got eyes on this ball, Huddy. Let's turn one over. Let's hit a big one, Huddy. Straight out of Tennessee.
I mean,
we got Hudson.
He's going to lead to an NIL deal right here if he can do it. Wow.
Yeah, he's hit a big
See if he can punt one out of the stadium. Like
a
go
good
in the
ball.
end zone, try to punt out of the
That's a
stadium.
good ball.
Good handle, too.
Pat, did you like what the
Yeah.
Chiefs did? They said, screw this kickoff and just put it out of the end zone.
Yep.
Yeah, so what was it? There was 10. Great work by the cameraman right there. That was an artistic shot.
Cameraman.
Get this man a Grammy or whatever the hell they're called.
Yep.
I think there was 10. How many kickoffs were there? 10, they said?
Yeah,
I
two
think
returns.
10 for the Chiefs.
2 returns, right?
Yeah, there it is. 11 kickoffs, 9 touchbacks, 2 returns. Baltimore Ravens, John Harbaugh is a former special teams guy. The Ravens have like 2 to 3 special teams coaches on staff. Baltimore Ravens take special teams very seriously, always have, always will. Cook and Tucker. Tucker, I didn't like that stat that I was told last night about 50 plus. He'll dial it in. I don't think he knew the wind was as hard as it was. I think he thought that ball was in, and then that thing gets a little sauce at the end on it. Tucker will be back. We understand he'll be great. But I think the Ravens are one of those teams who would want to see, like, hey, if we train them up right and we got good things, we'll be able to pin them in there. And then the Chiefs are very much like, we have Patrick Mahomes. We have a good defense. There's no reason to mess around with any of this. Let's just go ahead and send this thing out. Ravens did that too whenever push came to shove. So it's like, I fear, and I told Goodell this, I think everybody heard me say it, and I assume I'm not the only one that's told him. I do fear that now it's just going to be a weird-looking touchback as opposed to a
Looks terrible.
standard look.
I think it's a terrible-looking touchback. When it's a touchback, it looks like practice.
Stupid.
Like I feel like people watching are like, wait, what just happened? Like, what's going on? Like, I don't get it.
How about the guys covering too? Because getting through the line, the goal line first, is like a point for some special teams thing. It's like a plus. If it's a touchback, first person through the line gets a plus on the play because at least you gave maximum effort because you never know when they're going to bring that out. Yep. You never know. So let's make sure we're covering. And that's some people's full-time job. So those balls are getting kicked out of the end zone. and it's already called a touchback, then those guys are sprinting from. They're
gonna bring it out. It's gonna come out to the 35, don't you think?
Has to.
Yeah. But we're gonna have to sit through a whole year of people going, "This is stupid," which is not good for special teams at all. As I don't think I love that at all, But hopefully there will be a moment that'll come from it this year, where it shows a little bit of promise. And, maybe it happens tonight. What's the altitude down there in Brazil? Do we know?
No, I was wondering the same thing because everyone obviously always talks about Mexico City, and I don't know. I mean, Christ the Redeemer and everything. So I assume that it's not the same altitude as either Philly or Green Bay, but I don't know if it's big enough to make a huge difference.
Tone's probably
I just got a text from Michael Phelps. He said, yep, that's a swim team running the steps. And then he said, FML, what's that mean? What Michael Phelps wouldn't say. That's not what FML.
Frick my life, I think.
What?
Fudge my
it was really difficult.
Fudge my lips.
I mean, I guess swimmers being in overall good condition.
Faithful Michigan lads.
Yeah.
Faithful Michigan lads. Yeah, he says faithful Michigan lads. Those were long-ass sessions. So I don't know what FML means. It's not – Michael Phelps would not say the same FML as us, but that's what the swim team was doing. Shout out to the lads grinding out here and in here. Kickoff rule, though, I am a little bit worried that is going to be just a weird-looking touchback instead of a standard-looking touchback. Hopefully they're able to adjust it and move along. And I think there will be some special teams coordinator like Bones. He's a guy that takes advantage of it. Tobe, normally for the Chiefs, would be a big-time special teams guy. Look for Tom McMahon for the Raiders to try some sort of shit.
What if your offense isn't good? What if your offense has been sputtering? Like, hey, we need a sport. We got to do something. Like, we got to bring these things. Well, I don't know.
So it'd be defense. It would be it'd be a defensive thing anyway. So, like, if the offense isn't good on the other side, you're kicking a touchback every time. 30 doesn't matter. 25 doesn't matter. It's like if your defense, I guess, isn't that good, then you try to pin maybe.
Yeah.
And once I guess as the year goes, once weather comes into play, like later in the season when it's super windy and freezing cold, and you can't just jam a touchback through the end zone, then we might see some action.
These new kickers bomb balls, but you're right. Maybe if one's like 2 deep or 3 deep, they're bringing it out because they got some trickery.
That's all I'm thinking. Yeah, people would take some chances maybe to bring some out from deep if you feel like, hey, we got a beat on them somehow.
Okay, so and for people that probably don't understand what I just said, 2 deep means like 2 yards into the end zone. 3 deep means like 3 yards in the end zone. Last night, everything was like 9, 10, 15 through the out through the back. Butker and Tucker, though, have 2 of the biggest legs, so like Phelps did say, fuck my life.
Wow.
Michael.
Wow.
It must be a Friday tradition for them.
Those are big steps. It's a lot of steps.
Yeah, but, I mean, Phelps, wow.
Are they going around the whole stadium? You think they're doing a whole 360 to every staircase?
They have to.
I'm not 100% sure. I am. They were up in the suite section. Maybe they're already done. Maybe they're having a couple booze cocktails.
Sure.
Maybe they're celebrating the entirety of the thing. But it's beautiful here. Coach will be joining us here in a matter of moments. I do believe they're getting out of a meeting. Hudson's bombing balls. He is rapping. He's coming over. I thought he was coming over to say hello. He's not. He's grabbing his shit and getting the fuck out.
Okay. Teach him a thing or two.
All right, good luck out there, Hudson. Good luck out there, Hudson. Tonight, though, this is a big one, AJ. Night 2 of the NFL season's huge, and then massive college football slate tomorrow, then full NFL slate on Sunday, and then Monday Night Football. I mean, we're in a beautiful time. Tonight, though, I think has a chance to be great, AJ.
Oh, man, Packers-Eagles from Brazil. Like, I was surprised to hear Brazil was only a 2-hour time difference from us. Is that correct? Is that right?
Long latitude,
I guess I never really thought about it until now, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I know we'll be making picks eventually, but man, I feel pretty good about where the Packers are right now. I really do.
Yeah, I think Jordan Love, how he ended the year, and there's a lot of talk about like Jordan Love only had this many good games and it gets a big deal. It's like I don't think LaFleur let him really have big games early. It was a very slow start. Like in my eyes, I'm assuming there's somebody out there that doesn't agree with me, but at the beginning of the season, it felt like a very basic operation. And then like as you kind of let the training wheels off for Jordan Love, it only got better and better and better. And the LaFleur offense is the reason why he got the head coach job. Now it's wide open. Jordan Love last year didn't even use his legs that much. Like there was numerous situations where Jordan Love, who's very fast, very athletic, could have picked up 15, 20, and instead he looked to throw. It's like if they start to weaponize his legs and kind of freeze people in the box while also having all of the incredible arm talent with the young weapons that they have, it's like there should be very high hopes in Green Bay, legitimately. And I know Ty feels that way, but like the hopes should be through the roof. New defensive coordinator, which was always seemingly the issue in fans' eyes on why you couldn't get it over the hump or whatever. It's like This could be a year for Green Bay, AJ, and it's exciting to think about if you're a Packers fan that you were just able to go from Brett Favre, compliment Brett. Okay, I know you're a big fan of free speech. I saw you tweeting. That's interesting.
Yep.
But I do
change the tone.
I do appreciate how you're operating. You're a phenomenal quarterback. Then you go to Aaron Rodgers, going to be on a Mount Rushmore, and then Jordan Love with LaFleur seemingly have figured out. It's like once again can't compliment Gutekunst enough after thinking that he was a massive dipshit a few years ago. Now it's like this guy's got to figure it out somehow. I don't know how you just get dropped in a city, and then it's like, yeah, now you're going to make good football decisions. It's crazy that the Packers have been able to do that because all you need is one person in a position of power to get something wrong, and all of a sudden this chain of command doesn't happen. So massive respect to everything happening in Green Bay.
Yeah, I think they're almost under the radar a little bit outside of like the state of Wisconsin because their players are like they have so many young guys. They don't have like multiple bell cow superstars that people know of nationally, I feel like it, but they have a ton of really, really good young players. I know last year we talked a lot about how young their roster was, but bringing Jeff Hafley in as the D coordinator, people talk about how aggressive his style is, how aggressive his scheme is. Oh, goodness, this is amazing,
That's
Pat.
awesome.
Here we go. Coach Wink and Sharon showing up here with Pat in the nice, beautiful golf cart. These guys can
door-to-door service.
Yeah.
Look at that.
This is
Pat.
awesome.
How's that going?
I mean, this is a big house. This is Michigan. They don't say Michigan man for nothing. You got a stretch golf cart. I mean, this thing is a limousine golf cart.
Rims on
Good
it.
pad, good leather on there, too. You know, sometimes some of those carts can have a little bit of wear and tear on the leather, you know, because asses on seats, not always goodness. Premium fine leather.
Oh, yeah.
This golf cart.
Gorgeous.
It's a stretch. It's an extendo. They're the reigning national champs. And you talk about being underrated there with the Green Bay Packers. It's like, how about this team?
Yep.
You know, like Michigan is not being talked about as like, yeah, they're going to go back-to-back at all. It's actually other teams coming into the Big Ten that have the hopes of maybe winning a national championship in Oregon. And maybe USC is able to do it now with how it goes. It's like the reigning champs are right here in Michigan, and nobody is predicting them to win again. And I think it's because you got a lot of new faces. Mm-hmm. One of those new faces is defense coordinator, and he looks just as good as he has looked for the last 30 years. If anybody's wondering if the Michigan Air has changed the way Wink looks, exact same. The exact same looking human from the last 20 years of dominating the NFL. And then Sharon Moore, and I'm gonna put him in the hot seat and ask him the question. There was a report yesterday. This dude's operating without a contract. I don't know if that's real or not, but you're talking about like loving Michigan. Like this place, people buy in for real up here. AJ, you know that as a Buckeye.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they are absolutely diehard. I respect the passion they have. That is crazy to think if he's really coaching without a contract.
I don't know. We'll find out right now.
Handshake deal, huh?
Come on in.
A Michigan man.
He's a Michigan man.
Trust the brand.
Ladies and gentlemen, NFL defensive icon. He's stepping on his microphone and his ears.
Tangled up, got the belt, everything.
You can put that up there if you want. And then Coach Sharon Moore, national champion, obviously. They're clapping for you back there. They're clapping for you. Boys, they will certainly have questions for you, but I am going to Jesus, Wink, you've been around. I mean, you got that microphone.
Hand the mic to Pat.
You got to talk into the mic.
I'm just telling you what they told me.
Okay. Hey, great to see you.
Great seeing you.
How are you doing, dude?
Awesome.
Okay, if you can get in the microphone.
Okay.
Jeez, I can't hear you, Wink. This is a tight set.
That is.
Yeah. Look good, though.
Yeah.
Looks great, boys.
Yeah.
Beautiful background, right? Beautiful background.
All right, we'll start with you, Coach.
Yeah.
National champion.
Yep.
There was a report just yesterday, and I hate to just bring automatic drama into this conversation because good vibes, especially getting to know you over the last couple. You're a dude, a legend. Is that report about the contract thing real? And how should we be taking that report and talking about that?
I'm committed to Michigan. They're committed to me. I am getting paid, and I'm under contract. So we're in a good place.
Okay.
So
Journalistic standards. That's good news. We figured that whole thing out. Last year, after you were the first interim coach, obviously saw you get very emotional. You love this place. You very much love this place. Now you're the head guy. What has it been like as the head coach since getting the reins full time? And how do you feel about the boys this year?
It's been great. I love my team. I love our coaches. Everybody's had a lot of fun, and we're going to try every way to get better every day. So we're excited for this great opportunity in this great stadium tomorrow, and we're going to have some fun.
Okay, so obviously quarterback situation was a big conversation going into week one. It remains, it continues. You feel like that's just going to be a story throughout the year because you don't have like J.J. McCarthy here as your number one guy?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you lose a guy like J.J., that's always going to be a story, but we feel really good about the guys in our room. Had a really good week of preparation, so excited for tomorrow.
Okay, let's move to the defensive side of the ball. For those that don't know, this human right here is like the reason why defenses are awesome. Like the reason, the hybrid, the amoeba, everything that has ever come out of the Baltimore Ravens world is through the brain of this particular man. You're back. Did you coach in college before you were in the NFL?
Uh-huh.
Is it okay? So you started out as a college guy, go to the NFL, back in college. How has it been? Have you been enjoying the process?
Loving it.
Yeah?
Loving the whole thing. It's been a lot of fun.
Allegedly, a quote was, you told the boys that you're the OG of this system. Is that true?
Allegedly. I think that I was referring to old grandpa.
Coaching college kids versus NFL guys. Is there a difference at Michigan? And what have you kind of realized here early?
I think that the difference that jumps out at you, there's two things that jumped out to me, and I was just talking to my wife about it. The maturity of the players, obviously. You know, you got kids here, some kids are 18 years old, all right? And that gives me flashbacks to when I coached college and when I taught high school. But as far as the players, the ones you say, oh, he can play?
Yeah.
They can play.
Well, I think that's the Michigan difference, right?
That's right.
Everybody's talking about you guys losing a bunch of people, but it feels like Michigan, and this was a conversation Herb Street had about Ohio State. He was like, when has Ohio State ever lacked talent? Like, same conversation about Michigan, obviously. Yeah. You guys lose every 13 guys?
Yeah, 13 guys get drafted.
13 guys to the NFL, 18 to the NFL, 13 guys get drafted. Reloaded, feel good about the team and like new faces and names coming in?
The best part about it, you look at the O-line, there's only one guy that's a redshirt freshman that's starting. Everybody else are juniors or seniors. So it's guys that, necessarily they weren't the starters last year or weren't full-time starters, but they've all played a lot of football, got a lot of experience, and all the guys that are playing have had an opportunity last year to go play.
Okay, and before the boys have their questions for you, Wink, I talked about how you being added to this team is such a weapon because you're going to be taking on college offensive coordinators. I know you're only one game in, but from watching film, do you feel like you have quite an advantage taking on all the NFL's greatest offense coordinators for decades and then coming in to college ball now?
Well, like I always say, I think it's all relative. I do, to answer your question, first of all, I feel pretty good about it. But like Sark, he was in the NFL, and you see a different flux. Like looking at this offense this weekend, there's a Alabama run game to them with a Dolphins motion passing game to them. So, you can see who he's been visiting with and who he's talked to. And he's from the Shanahan tree, so you see that as well.
Okay, so that's what we're expecting over here. A.J. Hawk, Ohio State president, has a question for you boys.
Yeah, Coach Sharon, I just want to know, obviously a huge game against Texas tomorrow. What an unbelievable opportunity this is for you guys and your team, I would imagine, early on in the season to kind of jump out there and show everybody that you guys aren't going anywhere. Is that the message to your team, and how are you guys approaching this one?
Yeah, we're approaching like a big game. We know it's a great opponent. We're excited about the atmosphere, but any big game that we've had, that we've been involved in, especially over the last 3 years, it's all about our preparation and what we've done to get here. So, we've had a great week of practice and excited for tomorrow.
What's your message? How many times do you talk to the team each week, and how many times will you talk to them before tomorrow's game?
We have a team meeting at the beginning of the week. I try not to have meetings every single day. I think that can kind of get monotonous, so let them hear from the position coaches, let them hear from the coordinators. And then I'll have a message for them tonight, which will be for our ears only.
No. And, we need cameras in there. We need that shit streamed.
It'll get real. So I have a message for our team that I want them to hear from me. But we'll just be ready to go.
How about you?
This is him saying, Link, don't say shit. That's what I got for that.
Tone Diggs has a question for you. Massive Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
Coach Wink, yes, I am, which I respect the Ravens organization more than any other besides the Steelers. But how was it?
I love Mike Tomlin.
As we all do, Coach, he's the best. But how was it, going back to college, but automatically you have Will Johnson and Mason Graham, who are both projected to be top 5 picks on the defensive side of the ball. How is it just going back and be like, oh, these guys are basically already pro ready and dominant at the college level?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and it's okay.
No, I can hear you. Yeah, AJ, you just talked to me and Wink.
Okay,
there we go.
I want to talk. I want to talk to Ty anyway. No, but it's been a lot of fun for us, and it's all relative. It's football's football. You coach in big games in the NFL, and then you come out here and there's 111,000 people, and everybody that you want to ever be around here this weekend, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Ty has a question for you.
Yeah,
here we go, Ty.
Yeah, Coach Martindale, I guess I'm going to do this as Lou Holtz because I know and I've been told that you have one of the best Lou Holtz impressions of all time. So I'd first and foremost just like to say that, listen, it's been a long time, Coach, since I was picking you up from the airport. You had those hot chicken sandwiches ready for me. But I will also say that I'm rolling over in my grave as a Notre Dame guy, knowing that you're, back at Michigan, one of our most hated rivals. But I'm curious. I mean, obviously, I was in the NFL, had my stint with the Jets. I basically quit about 12 games into the season, couldn't handle it. It was a little tougher than I expected. I'm curious, when you got back to Michigan, after having coached in the NFL so long, did you have to simplify your scheme at all for the younger guys? Or, being at Michigan with these elite athletes, did you realize, hey, these boys can pick things up pretty quickly and they can play right away? I don't need to simplify nothing.
That's really good.
I tell you what, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, I did it too, Lou Holtz.
And I would not be anywhere without Coach Holtz. And I tell your ass something. All right, that was a pretty damn ass good. That was pretty damn good impression. It's been great because of the culture that's here already established, that's been here, and it obviously I had a leg up on it because I worked for, Coach Jack down at Western Kentucky where we won a national championship, and then obviously with John for 10 years when we all met back in '96. So it's. I had an idea of the culture, and then as I've told everybody, Sharon and I started talking on the phone from two friends that connected us, and it was a conversation where I wasn't offered anything. In the first hour, I hang up the phone, and I looked over at my wife. We were down in Florida, which you told everybody where.
Yeah, that's on me. That's on me. Journalistic standards.
And I said, I want to work with this guy for the same reason you just said earlier when talking to him.
Yeah.
He's a real dude. He's a guy.
Yeah.
And the thing that jumps out to me is that he wants to elevate everyone, coaches, players, especially the players. You ask how many times you talk to the team. He talks to the team meeting like he said earlier, but he's always talking to the team. By position groups, on the field. He'll come and sit in meetings, and the thing that you can see if you have experience, how the kids react to him when he's in the room and when he's around him, and I think it's pretty cool.
Coach, obviously everybody has massive respect for you that has met you. Everything that happened last year was such an awesome. Hey, I watched that documentary too. Did you watch the documentary?
No, I didn't.
You should know. You guys come out looking, I think, better on the other side of that.
For sure.
I don't know what that documentary was supposed to do, but for me as a person, it was like, okay, first of all, guy's a weapon. Second of all, there is a chance that he was. Anyways, you guys look good on the other side of that. You talked about coaching trees right there. Yours obviously going to be linked to Coach Harbaugh forever. Yep. Have you talked to him much leading into the season with the season starting, and how is that conversation going?
Yeah, I mean, I talk to him during training camp probably every week. I try to talk to him once a week. I know he's got his own thing going on, but he always offers tips and things, and asks me questions what I need, and always says he's available. So talked to him right before the last game because obviously he couldn't be there, but he was super stoked that his dad could be there and his mom. So, but I always catch tidbits from Coach Harbaugh.
Yeah, and I assume that the football community, the coaching community, everybody wants to help. Unless you're playing against their team. You got Texas tomorrow here.
Yep.
Okay. Doppler told me it was supposed to rain today. It is not. I got sunburn early in the first hour. Wink, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know what the weather's going to be. I have no idea what to expect tomorrow. But what do you think it comes down to tomorrow? And what are you telling the team? Like, hey, this is the shit that's going to decide this game.
It's going to come down to time of possession. It's going to come down to the line of scrimmage, who's going to be more physical, and playing penalty-free football and really securing the football. We got to get them, and we got to keep the football.
I don't know if you know this, but in the NFL, they're attacking those tackles. Right? Did you see that last night? Elite as an offensive line guy. Yeah. That's going to come into college too. So make sure your boys are on the line of scrimmage.
Oh yeah, they're ready.
Yeah, let's make sure.
They're ready.
All right.
They're ready.
I appreciate the hell out of you guys for stopping by. Good luck. Wink. I got a chance to hang out with you at the Pro Bowl, but like from afar, watching what you do and how you handle your shit, we've always been massive fans of yours. So congrats on another spot. And Coach, what a legendary run last year, being able to rally and motivate. I'm happy the right decision was made. You're the head coach now. Good luck the rest of the way. We appreciate you guys.
I got one last thing.
Go ahead.
Connor, you have a sweet Kentucky mud flap.
Oh, wow.
I went with the executive mud flap, but that mud flap is
Hey, he's got a little flow here, Connor. Turn that thing out. Yeah, he's got a little flow.
Curls out the back, coach.
Yeah, it's the executive
Out
one.
the back.
It's executive. He's coach, Michigan man. Michigan man. We got
to. That is incredible. Thank you so much. I'll keep it going just for you. I might name it after you. This might be known as the Martindale going forward.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Ladies and gentlemen, NFL icon, Michigan, D.C., national champion, head coach for Michigan Wolverines, Wink Martindale, Sharon Moore. We appreciate it.
Thank you. As Pat finishes with these guys, it's pretty awesome them coming on in the middle of a Friday workday when every single second of your day as a coach is absolutely planned out and set up to get ready for the game tomorrow. Huge game against Texas.
Yeah, Texas, exactly.
That's ridiculous.
It's not
that game is happening already.
Yeah. It's not like game day's there. It's like, hey, this is the second game, and it is against the what are they? The number 3 team in the country. Like that is a tall task. SEC team, like especially after last week, like everyone, the whole conversation for people at least that I saw was, not the same Michigan. They started out really slow. You would assume that they would want to be as locked in. Yeah, I mean, hey, look, you got Texas in game day next week. I think everyone's going to be up for it no matter what, but I can't wait. I'm just glad that we got matchups like this early. It just makes the entire college football and NFL weekend that much better.
You had Texas in week 2, right?
My senior year, we got beat. Vince Young. That's the year that Vince won the Heisman and that they won the national championship. Yeah, pretty good squad. Pretty good squad. Yeah, you're right. It was awesome though. Yeah, I believe it was week 2 night game. This is a noon game.
Yeah, it is.
Right off. Oh, okay. Yeah,
right off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be. I'm pumped to watch it. I really am. There's a bunch of good games. I mean, Nebraska, Colorado. I am absolutely tuned into that thing. I don't know what's going to happen. I have no clue.
Night game.
Nebraska looked good week 1. Colorado obviously fought and got a hard fought win. People always have their opinion on how Colorado's going to do. Shador is awesome. Yeah. The dude can absolutely sling it. Actually, Shiloh is one of my favorite players to watch. That dude is finishing dudes over the pot. Like he plays how defensive players should. I'm not saying when I said he's finishing dudes, I'm saying he is finishing tackles. He's finishing through the tackle, through the whistle, and he plays like an old school brand of safety.
The way you were talking about was a personal foul or not, but
well, no, I don't know how that would work. But I'm just saying if you watch Colorado play, you see Shiloh. Guess what? He's gonna make sure he gets a few shots on the guy.
Yeah. Well, in that game too, classic rivalry. And then they didn't play for the longest time. And then last year there was all the stuff with Rule and whether or not that was real or fabricated. Rule and the Sanders, they kind of had their beef, and then it kind of got put to rest. But then now it's kind of starting to get ratcheted back up. So major implications in that game too.
How are Rule and Deion right in prime right now? Are they?
Deion just said he respects the hell out of him. Because they both started at the same time coming back into college. So, but we'll see. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be quite a bit of shit talk on the field during the game and after the game. So. Awesome that's a night game too.
Yeah, Pat's back with us. I believe. I know he was the coaches were talking to him, taking pictures. Man, how's it going? What's the vibe there? These coaches feel pretty confident, don't they?
Dude, it was really cool to talk to them. Obviously, I haven't seen Wink in person since Pro Bowl. So that's a long time. Exchange texts, exchange messages, have remained kind of. I don't want to say friends, but kind of. I don't pry anybody for information and news, but I think whenever we all heard that he was coming to Michigan, anybody that knows NFL football and ball at all was that's a huge brain that Michigan is just reloading with on the defensive side of football. And then his mentality and mindset. The reason why all his players you go through all the players that Baltimore had on the defensive side. Just go through all of them. They love this dude for a good reason. And he's able to, point in direction and get most out of. It's Wink is a legend, and the fact that he's here on this particular team, it's that's a weapon for the Michigan football team. And then Sharon, if you look at how he got baptized by fire last year, and you're talking about some of the loudest stories that has ever happened in a regular season during the NCAA with the amount of scrutiny and allegations and distractions that it could be, the way he handled it all, while also showing his passion for Michigan, it was he won me over quick. And getting a chance to chat with him and learn about him as I do my college game day prep in the off season, trying to learn about all these schools so that I can catch up to everybody else on the panel that has decades and decades and decades of connections in this entire thing. Talking to Sharon, he's a dude that we would want to play for. The way he operates. Remember, he called 32 straight runs to win a game. 32 straight runs. As football guys, we love that. Football guys love that. Teams love that. Hey, if you can't stop us, we'll run you over 32 straight times. Didn't even think about throwing the ball. And they had J.J. McCarthy. It was top 10 quarterback. It's like that type of mindset wins over his players. That type of mindset obviously won over the university. And the fact that he's a head coach up here, I think he's a perfect guy to handle all the distractions that could come with a massive turnover after winning a national championship. So the fact that they stopped by here day before game, I'm very, very thankful for. Very, very thankful for.
It's awesome. Was it ever a doubt that Sharon was going to be named the full-time head coach? Like, did they actually explore? Did they technically have to look around and like interview other people like the NFL does?
I don't think so.
I mean, that's. Yeah, go ahead, Ty. I'm sorry, but they showed Orgy there. That's the only question mark is like quarterback. They got to figure that whole thing out. But once again, with the way Sharon coaches, and you heard him mention, he's like, our youngest offensive linemen's a redshirt freshman. Everybody else is juniors or seniors. It's like they can rely on the physical football whenever they want, and they're not scared to. Mm-hmm. So, to your point, I don't know if Sharon was ever not the option, but I think didn't they have to like act like they weren't though, Ty, if I recall right?
Yeah, they still had to go through like the regular process, but actually when you look at it now, it seems like in hindsight, like Harbaugh getting suspended was almost like the best thing that could have happened because I think everyone kind of assumed like, hey, if they get this done, he's going back to the NFL. Like we talked about it for so long, and with a job like Michigan, if he would have left and they wouldn't have had a guy like Sharon who stepped in during the season and proved like, hey, he can be the guy. Like that gets really loud, and then you get the fan base all pissed off because a Michigan man who played there, who's a legend, wins a national championship, and then you hire some other guy who's not necessarily a Michigan man, and it's immediately like, oh, all the goodwill and hard work we put in trying to get this back to where it needed to be is gone. But instead, you have Sharon, who obviously had the blessings and like all the respect from Harbaugh. He steps right in, and it seems like obviously without they got a bunch of guys drafted, but this is the same Michigan team that Harbaugh built. Like they're not missing any.
They have an identity. It definitely feels like they have an identity and they are running with that. But Pat, I think there's some breaking news from Jamar Chase's camp. Something's going on here. We got a tweet right here. So Jamar Chase just spent 10 minutes with the media. He said the contract status is off a little bit, but it's in reach. We'll see by game day. In terms of Sunday, he said he is a game-time decision. It's his decision, but he's willing to play without an extension. Okay, what do you think of that, Pat? And there's some more coming, too.
Yeah, I think that's a big deal. Kelsey Conway, all right, let's finish Paul Denner's thoughts. More from Jamar Chase says he was told he would get an extension. The Zoom call was covering that. If you could go back to the split screen. Yep, thank you. Told he get an extension from front office early in offseason. We are pretty close. A few numbers need to be switched around. Okay, so that obviously contradicts like Coach Mr. Brown saying, we're not just going to pay people willy-nilly. Kelsey Conway says Jamar Chase said he didn't demand a contract extension this offseason. He was told by the Bengals he would get one. Chase said they're in reach of what he's seeking in his contract and said, we'll see when it comes to playing on Sunday versus Patriots. That seems like pretty big news. Seems like pretty big news that Jamar's like, this has not been me. I was told, and then I got on board with it, and then we kind of had our dance. Now, from my understanding of reading the tea leaves of the internet, Cincinnati Bengals fans are upset with us because of the way we've covered this entire situation.
I saw some of that.
What is that? What the hell do we do? Honestly, what do we do? Your players walk across an actual street downtown and almost get run over by a RAV4. I mean, we have to talk about that. You're the only team in the NFL that has that. Jamar Chase hasn't practiced. He's your number one weapon on offense. We have to talk about that. But I think every time we talk about it, we say, we love this team.
Yep.
We love the grit. We love the jam of this team. And I like the fact that Jamar said, I'll play without the extension. But to be clear, they're the ones that told me an extension was coming. I never kind of expected this. We hadn't heard that at all throughout this entire process. Journalistic standards, you would have thought you would have heard that from somebody somewhere. But in this entire thing, I think a lot of compliments have been sent Jamar Chase's way because everybody understands that he's worth whatever he's asking for. But also the Cincinnati Bengals know that they need his ass. And I think it's good news. I don't think it's bad news. He said they're within reach. Maybe by game day we'll see. So it feels like this deal is going to get done. That's what it feels like to me from reading those excerpts from Jamar Chase. And it sounds like he's playing. And if we know anything about Jamar Chase, and we saw the clips from practice the other day, he's in shape. He's going to be great. And Joe Burrow's got all his weapons back for a year in which they're looking to make a run.
Yeah, it does feel like it's going to get done and it's close to getting done. But I'm also confused why he's a game-time decision. But on the other hand, he said it's his decision and that he will play without an extension.
That means they have to get him signed by Sunday, right? If he's making himself a game-time decision, have we ever heard that before where someone makes himself a game-time decision?
Well, there's a chance, though, that they're like, if you feel like you're ready without training camp to play, like one of those.
Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah, like if you feel like you're engaged.
But at least be active. Be like, hey, hopefully they're like, hey, well, you can be active, and I guess we'll put you in as comfortable. We'll get you as many snaps as you feel comfortable playing. But yeah, you're gonna put that dude in every third down, whenever you're in the red zone, whatever it takes.
Yeah, I would play him the whole game. I mean, personally.
I would try. Yeah, sure. I would try.
I don't know. Maybe not.
Okay, and that's a Patriots fan there. But, like, Jamar Chase is going to be in shape.
Yeah.
We all know he's going to be in shape.
He's ready.
They're going to use – and it feels like they're getting a deal done, which is good news for Cincinnati Bengals fans, who we love. And you're welcome for the indoor facility.
Mm-hmm.
And this entire thing. And shout out to the Brown family and Katie and everybody getting with it. But, like, these are things we have to talk about because it's happening to your team. Joe Burrow's back healthy. We're pumped about that. T. Higgins says, I'll play for 1 year. I understand the deal here. I know I'm probably not going to play here next year. There's not enough money to go around. I can't wait to get back into a Bengals uniform. I will sign the tender. Jamar Chase holding out of everything with 2 years left in his contract. That's a big story. But the fact that he's back now, here we go. The Cincinnati Bengals are fully loaded, happy, seemingly, together. Lou Anarumo was laughing at a team that they were joint practicing with on the defensive side just a few weeks ago, allegedly.
What team?
What team?
No, it was an NFL team. There's 32 of them. You can guess, and it's not the Bengals, obviously. Lou Anarumo's not laughing at the Bengals, but nonetheless, feels like vibes are very high in Cincinnati, very focused, and boy, that's good news for Bengals fans, even though their aggression towards us seems to be misplaced a good bit.
Well, that's just classic Bengals fans, Pat. That's just what they do. But T also popped up on the injury report yesterday with a hamstring. Zach Taylor said we'll see on him playing, but T also said that he feels great. So both wide receivers are apparently up in the air, but it feels like probably both of them are going to play.
So how does that work? Did they go around the room and be like, hey, what do you want to be on the injury report this week? And Jamar said, like, hey, put me down for a GTD. And then and T. Higgins said, hey, my hammies a little tight. Because the clip of T. Higgins at his locker, he legit says, I feel amazing.
Yeah.
Really?
So, yeah, but they're both on the injury.
Yeah, well, they got to report. If you go in the training room, they're going to have to report. And the game time decision for Jamar Chase is legitimately them saying, hey, whatever you want to do, we're up for whatever you want to do. I think they're trying to keep it as good as possible. We got an entire squad. I don't know, is this a swim team? Yeah, hey, how's it going?
Is the swim team playing like speedball or something?
Like flag? No.
There's a lot of people coming out here. There is a lot of people coming out here right now. I don't know who they are. Hey, good to see you guys.
Oh, look at this right here.
Slot fade.
Yes. Old man. Oh,
Joe Vicious.
Oh, my God.
Can't believe Stanford Steve couldn't catch that.
That was a good route. That was a good route. You should feel good about that. Hey, there's a little bit of wind there. It caught a jet stream up there. Yeah, you'd be okay. You'd be okay.
Tell him to try it again. You get the next one, bud.
Good catch there.
Set it.
That's not Stanford Steve, is it?
What he said? You can get him to stop.
I'm trying to get him to go. You know what I mean? I don't think these are football people.
They might not know. Yeah, they might not know.
Pretty good.
That's a good route right there. Good little route.
We got to go.
Oh, nice throw.
Who is
touchdown! Oh, we missed it. Oh, man.
Oh, no.
Cameraman.
Man, we got a new cameraman.
Zoom in, cameraman.
This is a good cameraman. This is a handsome cameraman here. I just want to let you know. I don't know who these people are, but once again, active stadium. Yeah. Very, very active stadium here in Ann Arbor, which I love because obviously the vibes are through the roof. It's funny you're talking about the injury report, Tone Diggs. Let's stay in the AFC North. What the hell's going on with Russell Wilson?
That is a really, really good question. I think practice is about to end. We'll find out very shortly, I believe.
Sources have told me he didn't do anything in practice.
Nothing? He didn't do anything? Russell Wilson?
Nothing.
Yeah, that's sources saying he ain't going. So
we're about 12 seconds from the hard out, Pat, but guess what? Next hour, you got Peyton Manning coming at 105, don't you?
Yeah, you're damn right. Peyton Manning, Nick Saban, what an hour coming.
Nick Saban, 120. Everyone stay right there. We'll be back. Pat will be in Ann Arbor. See you in a little bit.
Hi, how's it going? My name is Pat McAfee. Used to hold balls for Adam Vinatieri. Now I'm in his home state. College game day is absolutely electric. In Brookings,
College game day has made the voyage to Brookings, South Dakota to experience a game with the best fans in college football. I unfortunately cannot attend because I have a game this Sunday, so I sent a man I trust to make my picks. A man who was my holder for almost a decade. Please be nice to him. Welcome this week's celebrity guest picker, Pat McAfee.
Go big, go blue, go Jacks.
Hosting Auburn. Yes, everybody saw this. The best fake punt in the world. What do you think, Pat?
I absolutely loved it all the way up until execution time. That is not what we like to show in the brand headquarters and punting and kicking world.
Oh, damn. dance off. Let's get weird. Yes. Duck that, huh?
Bang! Right on the top of the dome. That makes it a lot easier when you got a dummy standing right in front of you like that.
Running. He's Hadouken! Daniel Russo!
Wax on! Wax off! Knee to the face!
Yes! Serious.
Go! Yes!
These teams stink. With that 15, they celebrate by doing shotguns. And I'm a big fan of that. I'm going with the University of Virginia Cavaliers. That was great. Whoa! I will never, ever in the history of my life bet against that ball. Oklahoma State is the winner here. Not so fast again.
But I'm going with Trey.
Please excuse my dumb friend Kirk. You look at this crowd, they've been out here since 4 a.m. College game day comes to town, they lose their mind. The population of this state is about 800,000, and when the Jackrabbits take the field, they're alongside all 800,000 South Dakotans. The Dakota marker was in Fargo for far too long. Today, 5 o'clock local time, the Dakota marker is back in beautiful Brookings, South Dakota. Adamson and Terry School, they might be the Jackrabbits, but they're the GOATs today. Ladies and gentlemen, South Dakota State with the win.
Give me that place in.
No, don't do that. No. Leave. No.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks. And the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig!
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
No problem.
Welcome back. Hour 2 of the Pat McAfee Show. I am not Pat McAfee. I'm AJ Hawk sitting at Pat's desk while he joins us from Ann Arbor, Michigan for a huge game tomorrow. Football! There it is.
Hell
A
yeah.
little bit of a delay there. It's tough, Pat, isn't it? Every once in a while to hit that football right on the exact key. I mean, that's why I'm always a little bit late.
Okay.
The sun is shining. The football key was right on time, and I guess there is a bunch of recruits from a bunch of different sports here. There's a lacrosse recruiting group here. The men's team is Big Ten champs. I just want to let the world know. Michigan men's lacrosse Big Ten champs.
Wow.
The women's lacrosse, there's some recruits out here. They went to the quarterfinal last year, so they got quite a lacrosse program here. There's a couple of swimming recruits, and the swimming team from up in the suite came down. They're hosting the recruits. So I think there's multiples of sports recruits on campus for the weekend, which is even more emphasizes the fact vibes are through the roof in Ann Arbor. The sun is shining. I mean, massive game against Texas tomorrow, and this is like a good measuring stick for both of them. I think everybody. What's the spread for this game tomorrow, Tone?
7.5.
Ooh.
Texas is
That's
favored.
on the road.
Texas
That's
is
on the
favored,
road
yes.
in the big house. They're 7.5 point. Yeah,
They're
exactly.
the defending national champions.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. This place, I think, very much understands that the world doesn't think much of their football team, and they're going to show up for them tomorrow. It is going to be, I think it's going to be insane for the next 24 hours here, legitimately. And it's so early in the season for us to have one of these. Normally, we're here for the Ohio State-Michigan game. Us being here this early in the season, Texas, Michigan, and for both teams, massive measuring stick for what the rest of the year is going to look like. It's an honor to be here, and these recruits are going to enjoy the hell out of Ann Arbor. I went to Chop House last night. Not
What?
New York.
That one?
That
one?
Really? Do you go to the dance floor?
There's one up there?
I didn't go to the dance floor.
No finger guns?
Oh, okay.
I didn't go to the Columbus Chop House. I went to the one up here.
Just as wild?
No.
Or what? Is it like a chain wild at the Chop House?
No.
Did you get yourself a tomahawk?
Got New York strip dry aged 15 years.
Oh, hell yeah.
It was,
Delicious.
It was a good one. I wasn't paying, so I obviously went. I went for it last night. We ate a lot of food in this place. Beautiful place though. Like they have this strip. Everything is so nice. And I kind of forgot that like billionaires are just falling out of trees around here. And their kids go to school. Like this is a very nice campus. Like if these recruits come here, I don't know how many other places they're going to go to. I don't know what the recruiting system's like for swimming and lacrosse and whatever other sports, probably volleyball over there as well. Like you could show them around this place and be like, this is the nicest city on earth. Like there is a chance you could do that. It is beautiful here, man. I don't think I fully understood it.
Well, this is this is an absolute prime weekend too. Your football team is playing Texas. That's why every single recruit that you ever want to bring into that campus, you bring them here this weekend. This is what you want them to see. The weather is nice. They're playing a huge game. Hopefully they find a way. Michigan, you want to win the game there when it comes to your house this early.
Oh, you want them to win. You want Michigan to win.
I absolutely want Michigan to win against everybody but Ohio State. What do you mean? It's Big Ten.
Yeah, fair enough.
Hey, this is a big, with USC beating LSU in primetime.
Yeah.
USC Big Ten beating LSU SEC. Like this is another Big Ten SEC matchup of Titans here now,
It's huge.
And with the whole conversation about the 12-team playoff, like this is a big deal. This is a massive representative of an entire conference feel almost, And I think we're going to get a lot more of that as we go forward with the new college football and conference alignment, where teams are, who they're playing, and everything like that.
Yeah, no question. Pat, we have an absolute legend waiting on the line. We're not going to make him wait any longer. Obviously, a huge friend of the program, friend of the show, friend of you, old teammate of yours. Please welcome Mr. Peyton Manning.
AJ, thank you, Pat.
Look at Pat. You see Pat over there in Ann Arbor. He's got like the lacrosse team or swim team playing some kind of game, some recruits. Can you remember your time back at Tennessee, Pate?
I sure do, AJ. I actually took a visit to Ann Arbor as a senior in high school. Thought about going to the University of Michigan. They recruited me. Ohio State did not recruit me, AJ.
Well, they didn't throw the ball back then. They probably just running power left and right. They didn't,
They had Herb Street. They had Bobby Hoying. I mean, they were just they were not exactly airing it out back in the but it should be in Ann Arbor Saturday.
Obviously, Archie's coming in here with Texas, and he saw some game action last week. Did you get a chance to see it? Hey, he's got a lot more moxie than you and Eli, and rhythm, seemingly. Now, I watched the musical. It was phenomenal. 10 minutes of masterclass.
Very good. Yes, very good.
I hope you win a Tony. But Archie throws that touchdown, comes to the sideline. He has like a dance with his teammates, and the moxie through the roof. Did you get a chance to see his debut? What are your thoughts? And the way, and I guess your entire Manning operation gets credit for this, but it's been like real low key. He doesn't need to start. Like he doesn't need to be in the headlines. He's just kind of taking it as it comes. Are you guys trying to keep it as normal as possible for him, even though it's probably never going to be?
Yeah, look, it's obviously Arch and his dad, Cooper. This is not some kind of team by any means. Eli and I are his uncles. We talk to him kind of when he reaches out to us and try to answer questions. I think I've told you, I think sometimes he regrets it. He might ask me a question about a 2-minute drill, and I leave him 3 12-minute voice memos later about the 2-minute drill. So I'm sure he's like, I wish I wouldn't have asked my uncle that question. But I'm proud of Arch. I'm proud of him. Like you said, most kids probably wouldn't have stayed in that situation. He went to Texas because he wanted to play at Texas. He wanted to go to college there. He wanted to play for Sark. Those are the right reasons you should choose a college. And I'm glad he's staying there. And he and Quinn have a good relationship. I think Quinn's going to have a great year. But, yeah, it was fun to see him get in there, Pat. My dad's speed and athletic ability kind of skipped a generation and went to him. It did not come to me and Eli. So he can run, he can move. And the celebration on the sideline, hey, I have no clue when it comes to that. But I'm happy for him. And like I said, pulling hard this year. Cooper's coming to Ann Arbor this weekend. And, should be a great ball game there in Ann Arbor.
Allegedly, and I know the Graduate, the hotel, I don't know if it has Tennessee berth in it or if there's a connect. Allegedly, Cooper paid to fly the Texas flag outside of the Ann Arbor Graduate. Have you heard this?
I have not heard this, but yeah, Cooper is in the hotel business. The Graduate is kind of one of their top hotels. There's one in Knoxville. There's one in Columbus.
Yeah, I've been there. It's great.
Arbor. They have room keys with the famous alums on there. So I have not heard that, but that ought to get this game rivalry started pretty quick.
Hey,
Yeah,
Peyton,
I would say.
Pat,
Go ahead,
Zeke popped in the back. I guess we're getting some feedback. We just need to call you back real quick, Peyton. We got to fix your connection. They're throttling us, Pat. You know they always do that for some reason. They know Arch is coming to town, so they don't want him doing anything, so they got to throttle him.
Connor.
It could be me, too.
What?
I mean, it could be my side. There's a little breeze blowing up. Hey, these kids are kicking field goals.
What? So do you know who that is? Do you know who they are?
Yeah, recruits.
They're the recruits.
So they let recruits come in there and kick field? That's awesome. Good for them.
You listen? What did we not have
recruits
a
of what sport? What sport?
He named all the sports.
Lacrosse.
Lacrosse.
Yeah,
men's
you guys
and women,
know.
swimming.
Yeah. You guys listen. Okay.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. It's a talk show. We're talking to each other.
Tell the lacrosse boys they know what
chance.
school to go to.
She got that one.
Wow. 29-yarder right there. I don't know what sport she plays. She needs full scholarship.
Wow, nice kick.
That's a big-time kick.
In
That was
the
a
big
big-time
house.
kick.
You would
It
have
won
lost
in.
money tomorrow if she was doing it.
4 yards further. I don't know if it sneaks in for 33, but it doesn't matter. It made it from 29. That's all that matters. $50,000 last week.
Yeah.
$50,000. That's my money. I think a lot of people get a little confused. Oh, it's got to be it's got to be sponsored or something. It's not. It is not. That is 100% my cash, and I'm pumped that the kid won. That kid was one of the coolest dudes that had existed. He yeah, I'm doing a show, Bob. Thank you. Appreciate it. The kids are awesome though. Kids are awesome. Good swim team up here. That kid was awesome. He wrote me an email, like a big long email, and was very grateful. And I'm happy that kid won the $50,000. Now, since he didn't hit on the first time, we will still progressive the jackpot. You know, because last year was $25,000, or last week was $25,000. Since he didn't hit on the first try, it'll go up to $35,000. Now, depending upon the vibe of kid, you know, whether or not that one more kick thing happens, whether or not we, you know, go with it or not. This kid was awesome last week. He deserved it.
People like
some kids might suck. And if I get a this guy sucks vibe from whoever, we're probably not doing one more kick, even though the entire place might be chanting for it. But that's neither here nor there. It is a great time. Thankful that the kid made it last week. It was a good moment. And College Game Day is off to a hot start. And I assume the same exact thing for tomorrow with the buzz that's in the air in Ann Arbor. A2 is what they call it. A2 Ann Arbor.
Wow, I tell you what, I think Peyton is back with us. Peyton, you got back? Here we go. Great message. Hey, Peyton, Tone Diggs actually was asking me earlier, you're working with Bill Belichick, I believe, 2 different times. On Fridays, you're doing like a preview show, and then Monday Night Manning, Bill will be joining you. What can we expect? And I heard, haven't you done some like practice runs with Bill, and how have those gone?
No, it's been great, AJ. Yeah, we're excited. First game's Monday night. We got Jets, 49ers. Bill's going to be a permanent kind of first half guest this year. Coming in, talking about the defense, talking about head coaching decisions. Look, Bill Belichick is a brilliant guy. I've heard him talk football. I've become a smarter football fan in the rehearsals that we've done with Bill, but nobody else has really heard him. You guys have gotten to hear him a little bit, but he never shared with the public or the media kind of his knowledge. And I think fans are going to be the beneficiary of hearing his insights. And look, he doesn't like Eli that much because Eli beat him in 2 Super Bowls. He's going to fit in great. It's nice to have a little reinforcements going back at Eli when he comes for me. And yes, there's a show called Breakdown that actually drops today on ESPN Plus and ESPN2 at 2 p.m. Eastern, where Bill and I kind of broke down the Jets-Niners game. We filmed it the other day. Look, his knowledge is off the charts. And so I learned things from him. I try to kind of make points on the offensive side. This is what McCaffrey's going to have to do to go against this Jets defense. It's a little bit of back and forth, but it's a lot of fun, and looking forward to him being, kind of part of the Manning cast all season.
You two are both very diligent human beings in everything that you do. I'm realizing with Bill Belichick, I've known that about you. I've said this. We went to a golf trip down in the South, and at that particular place, not allowed to have your phone out. And then as soon as we get back to an area where phones are allowed and emails and everything happen, I watched you personally respond to like 30 emails. I literally looked over at you, and I get a lot of emails as well. I literally looked over and I saw you respond to 30 of them. I'm like, that's the difference right there. Because I'm literally strolling that thing to the side and marking it as read, and then, I'm sorry, I didn't get your email. You respond to literally every single email. You're hands-on in every single business you do, which is why you've had so much success. Bill Belichick is the same way from my experience. experience of dealing with him thus far since his year off that he's doing with the media world. How has it been working together, obviously? And I've seen some of the rehearsal clips. You two together are awesome. Have you known each other for a while, and how has this kind of come together?
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, Bill and I go back a long way playing against each other. I was reminding kind of Eli, we sort of had our production meeting today, if you will, Zoom, that I actually played against Bill when he was a defensive coordinator for the Jets, Pat. That's how old I am. I played against Bill 4 times before he became Bill Belichick, the head coach. And a lot of things in common. I still seem to throw a lot of interceptions against Bill Belichick teams. It wasn't just the Patriots. I feel equally as many against the Jets. So really didn't get to know him, Pat, until I want to say 2006. He coached me in a Pro Bowl. And, back then it was in Hawaii. You were over there, and we talked a lot of football. His recall of plays from the 86 Super Bowl against the Broncos, he can talk about it like it was last night. And he can talk about, going against Joe Montana in the 1990 NFC Championship like the game was last week. So I love that. I'm a football junkie, and it's been fun getting to work with him this year. He loves football. He cares about the game. And like I said, I think his insights are going to be off the charts. And he's witty. He's sarcastic. He's got a dry sense of humor that nobody ever really kind of gets to know. It was funny in the rehearsal, Pat. I don't know if you experienced this. We weren't live on TV, but we were pretending we were live on TV. He couldn't tell when we were live and we weren't live. And some of the things he says when he thinks we're not live are absolutely classic. And so I think Eli and I might trick him a couple times, saying, "Hey, Bill, we're on commercial here. Tell me what you really think about that play call," because it is it's pretty solid stuff. So look for some of that this year.
Hey, off-air anything is always fun. Can't wait to watch you two football each other. It's going to be great for everybody. Go ahead, AJ.
Peyton, just curious, do you have any kind of existing relationships with current quarterbacks in the NFL, given what you did with quarterback and Patrick Mahomes and Kirk Cousins? I know with Omaha, you have the Packers documentary, and I know you spent some time with Jordan Love. Do you have any guys that you kind of keep tabs on and check in with during the season, or are there any current quarterbacks who reach out to you for advice or anything like that?
Yeah, I feel like I do. I try to stay close to those guys. I get to know a lot of these guys at our football camp at the Manning Passing Academy, which is a high school quarterback receiver football camp for entering 8th graders through entering 12th graders. But we have college quarterbacks come and serve as counselors during the camp. And in between practices for the high school kids, Eli and I spend time with the college players on their NFL aspirations, answer questions, work out with them. Do Q&A, watch film. And so you name a starting quarterback in the NFL, they've probably been to our camp. Mahomes and Jackson last night, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Matthew Stafford. So we get to know them coming out of college, stay in touch with them, and that kind of creates a relationship through the NFL. So, yeah, Brock Purdy came to the camp. And I think because of that relationship, I'm able to text Brock and say, "Brock, can I talk to you for 10 minutes on Sunday about the game? It's going to be short and sweet. If it goes to 11 minutes, hang up on me." But I think because I know him, maybe he'll give me a little insight that will kind of help Eli and I have a better broadcast. And so, yeah, look, I pull for quarterbacks. I'm a defender of quarterbacks. I know how hard it is to play quarterback in the NFL. I'm a defender of coaches. Look, the 49ers, everybody probably wants to pick on them, make fun of them. Pat, you and I have been there. I'd rather lose a game in a Super Bowl and have my heart ripped out as opposed to being 4-13 and so far removed from doing it. The offseason sucks. It's miserable, right? You win your last two and you finish 8-9 and you're kind of happy in the locker room. You're probably smoking cigars. Hey, great finish. The truth is we sucked. We sucked. That's why we were 8-9. You're the 49ers. You get your heart ripped out by the best player in the world, and it kills you. But I'd rather have my heart ripped out. And Kyle Shanahan is doing something right. And what do? You just keep fighting. You keep grinding. And maybe they win it this year. Maybe they win it in 2 years because of what they learned from that loss. So, look, I'm a defender of guys like that because I've been there. I've had my heart ripped out in the Super Bowl. And so I'm curious to see how the Niners bounce back. And, of course, I can't wait to see Aaron Rodgers play. Last year, I know it was miserable for him. I expect him to come out blazing on Monday night.
Jets-Niners wraps up a jam-packed 4 out of 5 night spectacle for the NFL to kick off this season. Aaron Rodgers returns after only playing 4 snaps for the Jets last year, after a storybook was supposed to be written over there. And the Niners obviously have everything back, all the tools, all the assets, and they're even tighter because one of the players got shot in the middle of the day, and then he is now telling the head coach he wants to play on Monday night. Feels like this team's tighter than they've ever been. And to your point about losing in a Super Bowl versus scheduling your vacation week 12, like there's 2 different vibes. The Niners are on a Super Bowl or bust vibe. Those teams that are scheduling the offseason things at week 10, they don't understand that unless they get into a culture that has it. Let's talk about tonight. Philadelphia Eagles, just a couple years back, here we go. This is the new one. This is the next one. Jalen Hurts is the guy, gets paid as such. They lose Shane Steichen. They have to figure out the defensive coordinator. How do you feel like they go tonight with Saquon Barkley being added to the backfield? And then on the other side with the Green Bay Packers, Jordan Love finished the season last year as a guy, got paid handsomely because of it. They're a young upstart group that has the talent to go win a Super Bowl. How do you feel tonight goes, and what do you think we should be thinking about as we watch these 2 games kick off their season?
Yeah, I'm a big Jordan Love fan. I've known him as well. He came to the camp. They came and practiced against the Broncos a few weeks ago. I got to see him. I've had several conversations with him, doing Monday night games. I like the way he goes about his business. I like the way he's used the time learning from Aaron. Look, I saw him at a training camp practice 2 years ago. He didn't have a great practice. Matt LaFleur is on him. He's coaching him hard. He struggled early, and then he got better, and he had a great season. I like to see that in young quarterbacks. I like to see head coaches coaching their quarterback. I like to see Andy Reid coaching Patrick Mahomes. That's why Mahomes is always going to be good. So, excuse me. I'm
you're getting choked up.
No problem.
You're getting choked up.
It's emotional.
Because the coach.
It's an emotional game.
It's okay. It's okay. Peyton, it's okay, man. It's football season. Football season. Yeah. It's good time. It's a beautiful time of year. You're always choked up.
Yeah, Peyton.
You're okay, Peyton. Yeah, look at us, Peyton. Look at the NFL season.
It's fun for me to see quarterbacks getting coached, especially guys like Mahomes that are the best player that want to get better. And so I see that in Jordan Love. So I think the Packers are going to have a good year. The Eagles, I mean, Pat, you may know more. AJ, you may know more. That was kind of hard to explain last year. Yes. What happened. I mean, to be 10-1, and then to kind of have that. Hopefully it was just a one-off, and they can bounce back. Like, I like Jalen Hurts. I've gotten to know him. Sirianni, big Phillip Rivers guy. Was with the Colts, like you said. Steichen's at the Colts now. I think that was a big loss for him, losing Shane Steichen. And I think Shane's going to do a great job in Indy. So a lot of what ifs. Kind of the unknown with the Eagles. So we'll see tonight. But I think Green Bay's going to have a good one this year.
Connor?
Yeah, Peyton, not to just skip over it, but way to battle there, brother. I mean, that was incredible.
Yeah, it's football season, baby.
We're all happy.
Adversity, baby. That's what we're talking about. Hell yeah. Arch would be proud.
Yeah, very proud. I think everyone here is proud as well. But looking at Denver in particular, just because we know you got ties there, how do you feel about, their team going into it, and what are you expecting from Bo Nix getting the start straight off the bat as a rookie?
Yeah, I don't know if you saw yesterday, but Bo Nix was voted a captain, which I think a lot of fans don't realize that captains that's a player vote. That's not like the head coach rigging the voting and making somebody a captain. The players voted Bo Nix a captain, which I think this tells you a lot. That look, he's 24 years old, he's married, he started over 60 games in college. That'll never happen again. So it's just a level of maturity there that you don't see in most rookies. He'll have rookie struggles because the game is that hard. But Sean Payton is smart enough to know, got to help with a good run game, got to get the ball out of his hands, and got to play good defense. So I'm excited to watch Bo. Not an easy start going to Seattle, one of the louder places to play. Rookie quarterbacks, it's always a little struggle with me. I want to get that interception record that I hold broken. I don't want Bo Nix to break it. But, if the quarterback at Washington or Chicago wants to break it, I'm still pulling for him. I'm a quarterback fan, but I got to get that one off my resume. And you think with 17 games, Pat, somebody would break it. Here's my
No,
message to
no.
coaches.
You have the 16-game record forever, buddy. That's a new record now.
But
Jeez.
okay, here's my message to coaches, though. Look, I'm a big Daniels fan. I like Williams. I like Drake May. McCarthy's going to be a good player. So is Penix. But these guys that are starting this year, right? Just Bo, Daniels, and Williams. If they struggle early, leave him in there. Don't take him out. Because that's the only way you're going to get to 28 interceptions. Take him out. There's no shot. Plus, that's how you learn. Leave him in there. Learn how not to throw that fourth interception. But you take him out, I'm just telling you, you don't learn as much. So,
hey,
anyway.
Peyton, real question. Hey, real question here, Peyton. And we're going to let you go. And if you haven't seen the Manningcast, the musical, the promo for this particular Manningcast, like, go sort it. It's 10 minutes long. It is awesome. Everybody is literally in it. And last question here, though, Peyton, from me, and this is a real one. I know you want them to get the interception record. I've always said this. I wish Andrew Luck was able to watch you operate as the starting quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts for 1 year. Now, obviously, not possible, but I wish he could have seen you behind the scenes in a meeting room, preparation, how you talk to people, what you're allowed to do. Like, how you got dropped in early, obviously, at a historic rate of turning the ball over that we'll talk about forever because it is the 16-game record until the NFL is done in 150 years. That is your record. But what are your thoughts on it? Obviously, you played early, struggled, but then you became GOAT, one of the GOATs. Then there's guys like Aaron Rodgers who sat for 4 years. Then he gets in, he becomes GOAT. What are your thoughts on it? How do you feel about that?
I mean, it's definitely going to be always a debated topic, Pat. Mahomes sits behind Alex Smith, and then obviously the rest is history and what he's done. Aaron behind Brett, Jordan Love behind Aaron. Eli sat for 10 behind Kurt Warner, and then started the last 6. And I guess that's where my answer kind of comes from, in the fact that Eli just said what he learned in those 6 that he played compared to what he learned backing up Hall of Fame Kurt Warner, who was playing. He said it was night and day. So I'm just about getting them in there, let them figure out how fast these guys move. Look, C.J. Stroud didn't seem to have a problem with it, right? He hit the ground running. So maybe I was just that bad as a rookie. But I think you get in there and play. You figure it out faster. You learn not to repeat those mistakes. You learn these defensive guys get paid a lot, Pat. Sometimes they're covered. You have to throw it away. It took me a whole season to learn that I didn't know you were allowed to throw it away. I thought you had to throw it up into double coverage. So I like these teams that have those rookies in there and to get them in there. And I appreciate you mentioned the musical. I just got to say to our Omaha team, we started filming this in February at the Pro Bowl. This was 7 months, 24 separate shoots to film this. Wow. All the celebrities that participated. Eli and I actually filmed our part at a real stage here in Denver, did a little tap dancing. So I love the fact that we can bring different people together that love football to get excited about the season. And it was a lot of fun to be a part of.
That's what the Manningcast is all about. Can't wait for the next season. Congrats to everybody at Omaha. An absolutely fantastic job. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, there's one man that is called the sheriff. There's one man that's forehead is going to be plastered all over television every Monday night this season. Ladies and gentlemen, Peyton Manning.
Yeah, Peyton.
Without further ado, we go from one GOAT to another. Joining us live from Ann Arbor, Michigan, he's the greatest college football coach of all time. A man who snaps his finger and does his dance every single commercial break except for one. Nick Saban.
Yeah, Coach.
How you doing?
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Here, I'll take this.
I thought that was an interesting conversation you guys were having about the quarterback.
Okay, go ahead. Do you have a thought on it?
And the development. I do feel that one of the reasons that there's so many failures of first-round draft pick quarterbacks, it's the highest failure rate of any position, is probably because a lot of these guys play before they're ready. And you got a guy like Peyton who actually could go through and have the perseverance to learn from his failings, which more and more of these young guys have a tough time doing that. We create these high expectations for them, so they think they're supposed to come in and be Patrick Mahomes the first time they play, and they're not ready to do that. They don't have that kind of success. They get frustrated. It affects their confidence, and then they don't play very well. So I think it depends on the individual, whether they have the mental toughness to persevere the bad times and learn from them, as opposed to being a guy that sits a little while until they gain the confidence to be able to go out there and play and have success. I think there's only a few people that can fail and still have the chance to succeed and learn from their failings.
Is that number going down, you think, with the new generation? No, I don't want to take a shot at the new generation. They got different things they got to deal with that we could have never even imagined, especially with the amount of things you hear from people that you don't know that you would have never heard in the past. It's a different world. But do you think the mental toughness thing is different nowadays with the generation than maybe in the past?
Well, I just think there's so much more information out there that people get feedback from that we didn't ever have to deal with.
Yeah.
We didn't have to deal with the internet. We didn't have to deal with what everybody thought about what we did or didn't do, how we punted in a game, how we kicked in a game, how we played defensive back in a game, whatever it was. And now these guys have to do that. So they get a lot of self-gratification from what other people think. And when that's positive and it doesn't stay positive, it has a greater impact, I think.
Yeah.
But they're dealing with more things than we ever
It's
did.
a different world. I mean, I couldn't even we had AOL Instant Messenger whenever I was in high school. It was like brand new. When you were in high school, when we were in high school. You know what I'm talking about.
Of course.
And that was like the first time you could really message somebody without them seeing your face and maybe meet people from another school. Then Facebook comes and it's like, holy hell, I get a chance to see these people and meet these people that I've never heard before. Nowadays, they open their phone. You got somebody from anywhere in the world potentially burying you or putting you over. It'd be hard not to ride that wave. Speaking of riding waves, hey, the wave's been good for you on College Game Day, hasn't it, boys?
I don't know about all that.
Yeah, I mean, do you ever do one of these? Do you ever just do one? Do you ever just do one of these right here, Coach? You know, I don't know if you've heard. You and me were on the internet. I was dancing. You were thinking, I believe. You side-eyed the shit out of me. Here it is, right here. You give me a nice side-eye. Right, look at it.
Yeah, I didn't know what to think.
Yeah, you were thinking I was an asshole, which a lot of people
No,
did.
I wasn't thinking that.
Oh, okay, good. It's been so much fun, Coach. I want to let you know that. And you have crushed it on TV. Has it gone as smoothly as you thought it would go whenever you decided to sign up full-time College Game Day TV world post-coaching?
Well, I was very much the rookie, learning the ropes, not in terms of having information that you want to put out there, but when to say it, how to respect the people around you, how to have the conversation, how to fit with everybody.
Dance, yeah, we're dancing.
Because we're a team, and every team you have to be able to fit into your role on that team, which I'm really conscious about trying to do. And you've made it easier for me, though. I mean, sitting by you makes it easier for me because I'm less anxious because you are very aggressive in whatever we're talking about or whatever we're doing. Yes. So I didn't know exactly what word to use there, but
that works. Hey, you can use any of them. They would all work. I want to let you know it's an honor to be next to you. And the boys will tell you this. Literally, as soon as that first show ended in Ireland and we started talking about it, it's like getting a chance to work next to you is so cool for all of us. But you're so good, dude. You are very, very good at the television. And we're in a transition time right now. So the fact that you, a man who is the GOAT at your profession, has a chance to kind of say and guide how things could potentially go is a big deal. The boys back in the studio have some questions for you, Coach. Here's from AJ.
Yeah, Coach, one kind of a technical football question for you. If you were Texas's defense and you had to prepare for two different quarterbacks, how do you, what do you do game plan-wise on defense? Do you have two different things? Like, what is the plan going in, then how do you implement that?
Well, they actually used two quarterbacks a little bit last year when we played them in the championship game. So we did have to have a little different plan. You got to kind of take a completely different scouting report on what number 10 is going to do versus, what the other quarterback's going to do. So
polar opposites.
The polar opposites. And you do have to have a different plan. You have to play an 8-man front. You got to make sure you got enough guys up there. The guy can still throw the ball, all right, but you have to be able to stop the run because of creating an extra gap when you have quarterback runs. It's like running a single wing in the old days. Yeah, you do have to have two different plans completely, in my opinion. The good news is sometimes you play against a quarterback who can do both. All right, that's really a problem because now you got to defend both ends, the passing game as well as the quarterback run, as well as their whole offense and their RPOs and all the things that go with it. When the guy trots in the game, at least you can change it up and you know what you have to do to try to stop him.
Yeah, good communication, obviously, amongst the sideline on who's in the game, who's not in the game. I think everybody in Michigan, and this is me just watching the game and thinking, they'll hope Orgy becomes very, very good through the sky. But any missed pass that he has, they're going to attack him. He had one ball he threw into the dirt in the flat last week, and the internet was like, what is this guy at college? It's like, that's going to happen. Like, these things are going to happen. But if you have the ability on the ground that he has, obviously that's a massive upside. Speaking of massive upside, I think Sharon Moore has a lot to pull from in this particular game. I don't know how, you obviously been a national champion so many times. Post-national championship, no buzz at all for your team to win a national championship. That's obviously a good place for a coaching staff to be. That feels like that's what it is with Michigan right now. Right. Sharon can pull from a lot, right? Because nobody's really projecting. Oregon's coming into the Big Ten. They're going to go to the national championship. USC just beats LSU. Maybe they win a national championship. Ohio State spent $20 million. Maybe shit out of luck, maybe not shit out of luck. They're going to win a national championship. Nobody's talking about the reigning national champs. Feels like that's a good spot for Coach Moore. Do you agree with that or no?
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think really some of the issues for some of these teams is going to be how do you manage those expectations, aspirations, whatever. Their goals to get in the playoff, which is really not a goal, it's an outcome. There's a difference in those two things. All right, so you should be focused on who do you play next. Like we say, play one play at a time, don't look at the scoreboard. Now we're talking about something that's going to happen in December, in September, when you should be focusing on how do we play the next game? What do we have to do to get better? What do we have to do to finish this game, beat this team, not turn the ball over? So you got to focus on what's in front of you. You can't worry about what's going to happen in December. You got to worry about what do I have to do to get there so we have a chance in December.
No rat poison, though, it feels like, for Michigan.
No, they have less. That's why I think it's a good thing for them.
Yeah.
All these teams that we've created all this expectation, like these teams are going to get in the playoffs. That's the rat poison. That's what takes your focus away from who do we play in this week? What do I got to do this week? Who am I lining up against? Might be the best player I ever played against. I need to block the guy. Whatever. Are you thinking about that, or are you thinking about what's going to happen in the playoffs?
I'm worried West Virginia's not going to win the national championship. You never know. Tone Diggs has a question for you, Coach.
Yeah, Coach. I don't know if you were in these two living rooms recruiting them, but Dylan Raiola and Nico Iamaleava looked really, really good in there. What? Did I not nail it?
Iamaleava?
Yeah, nailed it.
Sounds right.
Yeah, it's close.
Yeah.
They looked really, really good in their openers last week at home against lesser competition. How much can we take away from that when you have a talented freshman that looks really good in the opener against maybe an FCS school?
Well, we did. I mean, we recruited Nico a little bit more, but I think those guys are both going to be outstanding players. I do think Nico is going to have more opportunity because the offense is quarterback-oriented, even though Tennessee is going to make you stop the run. But they're so spread out, and the defense has to declare itself. And he is very talented in terms of his accuracy, his arm strength, and he doesn't have to read a lot of stuff because a lot of it comes pre-snap for him, which is good for their offense. And he did a great job of executing that in the bowl game last year and this year. Now, Nebraska's offense is a little bit more San Francisco 49er-like, where they're going to run the ball, they're going to throw play-action passes, they're going to have boots, waggles, and all that. So it's not quite as quarterback-oriented, but he did a really good job in the first game as well.
I love a good waggle.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
I love a good boot. I love a good boot and a good waggle.
PA waggle.
Right? How do you feel about, we talked about coaches, I think, a little bit reacting to the first game and having to make in-game adjustments and everything last week. How do you feel about, Dylan Raiola? And it's on a tape tomorrow that I'm going to talk about because I think it's a big deal. He knows the importance of this Nebraska Cornhusker team and tradition and program because his dad, he's walking out for his first game and he's doing one of these. It's like, I feel like you immediately know that this guy's got it. Like this, can you tell that from your players? Is there sometimes whenever you watch a player, when the lights come on and when it matters, you're like, oh, this guy much better in practice than he was in a game? Is that something you can sort in practice and figure out? Like when I see this, I immediately go like, okay, the guy's a guy. Like this is a dude. Is that natural and should I do that? And do you think that's good?
Well, I think I think it's good. I mean, to me, it shows that the guy has confidence. He's walking into a big stage, and he's got confidence in himself. I think that's probably a good thing. I do think that, we talk about how much is a player really focused on what he has to do to play well versus the entertainment aspect of the game. And I think when it comes to college football, we don't define that as well. Like there's controversy about penalties that happened last week, whether that's a celebration penalty, whether it's taunting, whatever it is. But in the NFL, they really define exactly what you can and can't do and what you're going to get a penalty. And as a coach, I always just wanted to know,
where's the line?
Where's the line? So I could go in the team room and say, hey, guys, if you spin the ball, you're going to get a penalty. If you dance, you're not going to get a penalty. That's all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So the player knew what he could and couldn't do.
Teams dancing, I think, is good. Bill Belichick has that do your job, and he highlighted, like, look at what this team looks like that's celebrating together with your teammates, and then look what a team that isn't looks like. It's a big part of it. And I think it showcases how your team is, too, behind closed doors.
No, I don't think there's any question about that. And teams that celebrate together, that shows a lot of togetherness to me. But I don't know how we got on that subject, but I think...
No, it's with it.
The Nebraska quarterback showed confidence in the game. He didn't play like a freshman, and I think that's really, really important. And it's amazing how mature these guys are when they come in, because quarterback is a position that carries tremendous responsibility. You know, calling the plays, giving signals, reading the defense. Do I run it? Do I pass it? Do I throw an RPO? I mean, there's so many things in decision-making that these guys have to make. It's amazing that they are ready to do it.
They're
when
so much more
18 years
mature
old.
than we were. I mean,
So much more.
I don't know you whenever you were 18. I think you were calling your own plays maybe in high school, I think is the story that we remember you told us last year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nobody was going to have me call any plays in high school. You know, and 18 years old coming into college, I couldn't even fathom. They got money now. The amount of spot, everybody's famous seemingly. All these guys are like famous. They have a bunch of followers. Everything they do is getting nitpicked. How they interact with fans, how they interact on the internet is being, and these dudes just seemingly are unflappable. Now, not everybody, but the guys, it's a very mature young group right now.
Well, and I think that the development process that these guys go through in this day and age is completely different than what we did, you know, back in the day. We didn't have all these quarterback camps, quarterback gurus, quarterback coach. I mean, I was a quarterback. I didn't have a quarterback
You could
coach.
spin it too, we remember.
I mean, so their development process, I think, lends itself to a more rapid maturing process.
Can you spin it? You could spin it pretty good?
A little bit back in the day.
For sure.
You
Still
threw
can.
it
Still
practice?
can. Still can.
You threw at practices too for the secondary?
Yeah, I had the best interception arm in the NFL for the 8 years that I coached secondary.
I know, I was pretty good. I throw it in double coverage just like Peyton Manning his rookie year every single time. Connor has a question for you back from the studio.
Yeah, Coach, I want to ask you about last week's game, Notre Dame and Texas A&M, specifically Marcus Freeman. When they were coming out of the tunnel, you know, he showed a lot of emotion. He was yelling at all of his players, kind of getting them ready to go into a hostile environment. What did you think about that? And also, as a coach, when do you know that you have to do things like this to kind of get your team ready? Because, you know, the story was about how young the offensive line was. You can see the front row there is basically all offensive linemen. Did you like this move? And do you think that it was reflected in the play at Notre Dame throughout the night over there in Texas?
No, I don't think there's any question about it. And I love Marcus Freeman. And I think to a large degree, you know, your team sort of reflects your personality to some degree. And when you got a fiery personality and you're fired up and they know you're fired up, I mean, that means something to players because they feel like you got as much going in it as they do and they want to play for you. And I think Notre Dame played a great game. Defense played great. You know, Riley Leonard did a good job. Tough environment, good defense for the first game, but their defense at Notre Dame was really good.
Is it hot as shit at all those places? Down in Texas, it was so hot. Texas
Yeah, it's hot.
Crazy.
Man, it's
and
hot.
loud. And then Alabama, I got 4th degree sunburn whenever I was doing the
Lost
show
5
on Friday.
pounds.
Yeah, you just lived in the South for so long. It's just normal now. It's so hot down there, and it feels like it's gonna be perfect up here for the game tomorrow.
Yeah, well, you think this is perfect. You got to wait till December to get a day like this in Alabama.
You still live down? You're Alabama still?
Sometimes in Florida, sometimes at the lake house in Georgia. So
Oh, I saw you on that boat. You took is that in Alabama where you used to take recruits on the boat? Remember we watched that? I think.
yeah, I did that in Alabama. We have a lake
yeah.
at Lake
Oh, a
Tuscaloosa
couple
too.
lake
Yeah,
houses,
Eli's Places was there.
I got Eli on there. That was the best.
How's the golf game?
You know, I played twice when I went down to Florida, and I didn't play very well.
Oh, no,
So
Coach,
Short
adversity,
game,
though.
short game was bad.
What is a good score though? What is a normal Saban score in golf?
If I break 80, feel like I played pretty well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say,
Holy shit.
I'd say. Geez, Lou, of course. Ty has a question for you. Iowa Hawkeye legend.
Yeah, Coach, speaking of Iowa, obviously during your tenure, you know, the Iron Bowl is always at the end of the year. But for this weekend in particular, we have a couple rivalry games, Iowa, Iowa State, and then also Colorado, Nebraska, kind of a renewed rivalry here. Is there anything different as a coach in that week of preparation? Obviously, you're not talking about it that way, but in like the eyes of fans, you know, a lot of times your season's success is kind of hinged upon whether or not you win these rivalry games. For the players themselves, I mean, a lot of them, you know, especially in that Colorado-Nebraska game, they haven't played for so long, so I don't know if a lot of the kids understand the rivalry. But as coaches, how do you kind of go into that week in terms of preparation for a big game like this, especially when it's this early in the season?
Well, you know, I'm probably a bad guy to ask that question because we prepared for every game the same.
Yeah, okay.
There's
no such thing as a rivalry game. Every game is a rivalry game because they're playing against us. We hate them. We have a rival.
So if there was a better way to prepare for a game, we'd do it every week because winning every game is really important. But I do think for the players, you know, when they understand the rivalry, but players understand rivalries based on quality. Like LSU was not the biggest rivalry for Alabama when I first came there, but it became that because they were always really good and we got to where we were pretty good. So it became a big rivalry game. And I think when Iowa State, probably, you know, for the fans, having the state pride and all that, go with it. And
it's everything, Coach.
Do I root for? It's everything.
Cyhawk, yeah.
All right, and it's the same thing in Alabama and the Iron Bowl. But at the same time, you want your players to stay focused on what they need to do to play well. And one of the things that in these games that you got to control as a coach is players being too emotional. I mean, players get so emotional, they start making bad decisions and you start getting penalties and things like that. When you're emotional, you don't do intelligent things, you do dumb things. And that's something that you really got to control. You want to have great intensity and play, you know, with great intensity, but you can't get emotional where you don't make good choices and decisions about doing your job.
Talking to the Iron Bowl, didn't you guys say like you practiced the grave digger or whatever numerous times? That sounded like bullshit to me. You didn't practice it.
Yeah, we did. We practiced it.
No
we
way.
We always practice.
No way. We don't believe
way.
it.
Yeah, that's a load of shit. No way.
Yeah, they don't believe it. None of us believe it. None of us. What was it, 4th and 30? What was the...
Well, we never necessarily practiced 4th and 30, but we practiced that play in the red zone as a play that you got to score on.
What a moment. What an absolute moment down there. Obviously, it's your last season as the Alabama head coach, and there's going to be moments that are talked about forever. That one is one that's going to be remembered and revered because there was one Alabama fan in the crowd that was like, we got it, like believed in you outright. I assume everybody on the sideline believed as well. But as that happens, and then whenever it's caught, you think to yourself, I can't believe this shit just happened. You obviously are stunned, surprised.
I can't really say stunned or surprised. I mean, you look at the play, you watch it from the sidelines, you know how it's developing, you know how the quarterback's supposed to read it, and you know, but it just happened to work. You know, sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does. I mean, sometimes the DB comes back out on the in and back out route and can, you know, make the swat, but you know, Isaiah Bond did a good job. Jalen Milroe, that was a hell of a throw.
Dime.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a hell of a throw. I mean, on a rope, and that ball had to travel 45 yards in the air probably, and it was a hell of a throw.
Hell of a time, hell of a play. College football creates those every single weekend. AJ has a question for you, Coach.
Coach, honestly, what's the best part about coaching football at any level? Like, what's your favorite thing?
The two things I enjoyed most was, first of all, relationships with the players. You know, trying to help players do what they needed to do to have the best chance to be successful personally, academically, and athletically as a college coach. But the other thing was I really enjoyed the systematic scheming, you know, of a game. Being a defensive coach, you know, taking different offenses and saying, okay, how do we have to play this? How we got to stop the quarterback? What do we got to disguise? What do we got to do? What's the best coverage to play? What's going to give ourselves the best chance? I like that part of it as well.
You talk about relationships with players. Do you know that your players have signed $1 billion worth of deals this offseason in the NFL? Did you know that?
Yeah, I knew that. That's great. I'm happy for them. That's great.
That would
get some.
That would be that. Yeah, I don't know what the percentage is. That's going back to old Nick Saban. How many lake houses we can get in that entire thing? But like that is something that's being chatted about whenever you're recruiting. Obviously not this year, but this is. Hey, it's proven that this was your model. $1 billion in one offseason of contracts is absolutely absurd.
It is. But I tell you what, we had a lot of good players. They contributed to the success. I couldn't coach bad players to play good, so I had to go get good players, and we got good players, and
Yeah.
We've developed them fairly well, and they're doing really well now, and it makes me extremely happy to see them do well, and I hope they continue and have long careers.
Tua signed massive, obviously, and then Patrick Surtain, his second, just signed a massive deal, reset the market. Feels like Alabama guys are doing that time and time again. One of them is playing tonight that reset a market a couple years ago. Had a down end of year last year, offense not great. Jalen Hurts. And obviously, we know him from Alabama, then from Oklahoma, and I think you guys still have a close relationship. What should we expect from Jalen Hurts, whose year didn't end the right way last year? You know, a lot of shit being talked to Jalen Hurts. He's too attractive. He's too cool. He dresses too good, and team stunk last year. Is kind of what Jalen Hurts is hearing from everybody. How do you think he responds, and how do you think the Eagles look tonight?
Well, I know Jalen Hurts is a great competitor, and even when Tua took his place at Alabama, he did everything the right way throughout the next season, for the whole season. And when he got an opportunity, went in and won the SEC championship game. So this guy's he's made out of the right stuff. So I think he'll take all that stuff and he'll self-assess and try to learn, what do I have to do to play the kind of football I'm capable of, which I'm sure he's disappointed in the way their team ended last season. And I also think that, the Eagles got to make sure they're doing the things that he does well. Because I think at that position, you got to play to the guy's strengths. And I think he can do it all. But I also think he's got to stay positive and be a good team leader. The one thing I always talk to quarterbacks about is that sometimes they get into themselves a little bit, but it's the hardest position in any sport probably to play if the people around you don't play well.
Yeah.
So not to take responsibility and leadership to encourage the guys around you to play well is almost like crazy.
It's wiping before you poop.
Huh.
Amen.
I've never heard that one before.
Yeah, that's what it is. It doesn't make sense. Just
doesn't make sense. That's right.
It does not.
It does not make sense. So to do that and get the whole team to play well around you, I think is also really important for Jalen to be successful.
Well, Coach, you are a quarterback now on Game Day, and it is an honor to be on your team. We appreciate you so much for stopping by. We'll see you next week. Are you going to quit Game Day because I was dancing during commercial break? A lot of people were saying that on the internet.
No, I'm thinking about when you're going to ask me to dance.
Well, we did wonder. Lil Jon comes on. You need to snap your fingers, Coach. I mean, I don't even know. Maybe you didn't hear it, though. You might have been listening to the truck at the time. You might have been thinking, but there's so many things that could have been happening at that time.
Yeah, I was just surprised that you were doing what you were doing.
Well, that's going to happen a lot, I think.
Yeah.
Because I'm surprised as shit sometimes, too. You should see it. I end up in a situation, I'm like, whoa, how did we end up here? We got to get out of it. Like, for instance, in the front of a muzzle of a cannon. I don't know if you saw that last week. Almost
I did.
Yeah. So that's going to happen. And I appreciate you, Coach. Everything you say, you need to know we're listening.
Yeah, but you got pretty good instincts to know when to do what.
Thank you, Coach.
All right.
You know this TV. He feels like he gets TV.
Oh, yeah. Quick learner.
Probably going to win an Emmy. Probably going to win a Grammy. And I was a cadet last week with old cousin standing too close to the kid. I mean, there's a tree there. Nobody's going to talk about it. Tomorrow should be awesome. Coach, I can't wait to work alongside of you all season. We thank you for stopping by, and you look incredibly sharp today. Incredibly sharp.
I appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, the GOAT, Nick Saban. Thank you.
Yeah, Coach. Thank you, Coach. I mean, wiping before you poop. I never heard that one. You guys heard that one? That's pretty good.
Makes sense,
Sure.
though.
Coach Saban knows
That's
his
an old
first time
school
hearing
Plum
this one.
special right there.
Is it really? Man.
You guys wipe before you poop at Plum?
No, the expression.
The expression.
Yeah, Pat, I think Pat's with us as Saban gets his ears out, and maybe I don't know if he's going to be with us here before the hard out. Pat, can you hear us anymore?
Yeah, did you see this? He won handshake, I won fist bump, and then we changed to a handshake. We're on the same page.
Yep. Wow.
So all the people that were calling for our demise, me and Coach, you are greatly mistaken, pal. I love that man. He is
so good.
He's accomplished so much, and he's like a teacher and a professor by nature, I think. Incredible leader, obviously. Has bought in completely to the team. You're talking about like these production meetings. Like he is all in, invested, watching so much film. But also, at the end of the day, he's a football fuck. Like that. He's a football. Like that is that is what he is. Loves ball. Obviously, you have to love ball to coach for that long. But like watching him experience new things here with this college football season is going to be a blast. It's already happening, and I love that dude. We're lucky for that guy.
Well, think how also that's not easy just to step on that stage after he's been coaching for however many years his whole life, and he's on the biggest show in football, and he's actually very, very good from day one. Like that's not easy at all to do.
Yeah, he is he's been so natural. Obviously, confidence. We talk about like Dylan Raiola coming out and being confident. You want that in your quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you get on TV, no matter how much you've accomplished, there's a hesitancy sometimes, potentially, especially in a new show. I want to find my groove. It's like his confidence because of how well he's known everybody and worked. It's been flawless. I can't wait for tomorrow, AJ. I cannot wait for tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow's going to be awesome. Obviously, tonight is an awesome game as well. The Packers take on the Eagles here. Is it on Peacock, I believe?
Yeah, it's on Peacock
Program
exclusively.
Will continue on YouTube. I don't know, are we TikTok live? You're pointing at which thing? I don't know exactly.
Yeah, this is a Matt Garrett special. He said we need to make it. We'll see you Monday on an Overreaction Monday. We're on YouTube, ESPN Plus, and TikTok. See you then. Matt Garrett, who has the largest head known to man.
Huge.
Biggest head. Biggest.
It's a huge compliment. I need to meet this guy.
Length,
You have
width.
I believe you have.
It's a big head.
It's
Real
massive.
quick, though, real quick. What's walking by right now is one of the coolest looking things I've
Oh,
ever
shit.
seen.
Is that Wolverine?
Wow.
Whoa.
Look at how cool that guy is.
That
He's
guy's
over.
from Michigan for sure.
What's he say?
He's got the Gage earrings. He's got like super cool sunglasses, tats all over him.
Is he a
in
sniper?
overalls.
Is he a sniper?
Might
I
be.
don't know. I assume he did. He walked by earlier, and I just like my head exploded. I'm like, holy shit! Look
Shake
how
his
cool you
arm.
are in this entire thing. But Matt Garrett was like, "Hey, I watch on ESPN, and you'll be talking to somebody, and then you just like wave to the crowd. Like there might be people that don't know where they could finish the show at, so why don't you tell them?" And I was like, "Hey, that's a solid call, Matt Garrett. I don't think about TV audience ever." So the fact that you did that, I am very grateful for. So shout out to Matt Garrett for the countdown on the thing. Nick, obviously, everybody in the back pulling it off. But like, this all has been so banana. I'm literally on the field right now in the big house. Like on one day before a massive, massive game that's going to have college football playoff implications inevitably months from now. And if you are a human that has taste buds, you like something. And there's good news for you. You don't have to leave your house to get any of it. These people are back for another year on this Feel Good Friday, Hour 3. And these people have gotten even better. Now you can double dash. You don't just get the food you want. They also present to you like, how about a coffee with this thing, right? Let's pair this. Let's pair this sandwich with it.
Gives
Maybe
me every time. Hey, I'm ordering smoothies with my meal. I'm doing all kind of stuff.
they'll even run the CVS for you. Like, do you want them to run the CVS? Maybe pick up something you need. You need toothbrush, you need toothpaste,
toilet paper.
It's like DoorDash is only getting better and better, and we're very thankful that they are back for another year with us, because we now, granted, no matter what money they pay the program or to sponsor, will never make up for the amount of money that we spend with DoorDash.
Without a doubt.
But shout out to DoorDash for being back, and shout out to the Michigan folks for being so hospitable. They don't have to put me here. You know, I could be in a parking lot somewhere. The fact that they let me here, I'm very thankful for, and it's also stupid. This is a really cool thing, AJ.
Yeah,
Very
look,
cool.
it looks amazing. You know, we obviously are going to do our picks. Do you want to take a break? Are they on you on a time crunch over there?
Let's take a break so I can run to the bathroom. I wasn't able to run to the bathroom because there was recruits, AJ, from a lot of different sports on the field behind, and I couldn't, run through them. Let's do that, and then we'll make our picks, and then we'll send off to the greatest weekend of all time. You know why?
Why is that?
Because football is all the way back, baby. We got a massive game tonight, massive Saturday slate, massive NFL Sunday slate, and then we got an overreaction Monday with Bill Belichick leading into the first Monday Night Football game, which is, Aaron Rodgers in the Niners. I mean, what a time to be alive. We can't thank you all enough.
All right, everyone, take 5. We'll see you in a little bit. See ya.
Well, nonetheless, as of February 1st, Pat McAfee is officially a contributor with WWE.
Living his dream to be a part of WrestleMania.
I want to see Pat McAfee tonight.
I've been preparing for this my entire life.
McAfee wins! McAfee wins! Pat McAfee has done it again! It's time to toast the boys and toast the brand. McAfee's wanted to drink beer with Stone Cold forever. Stunner!
There was a point in my life, all I could think about doing was professional wrestling.
McAfee closing in on another WrestleMania victory.
First, we're going to have to get the okays, obviously. And we did from people high up. They were the only people that knew for a while. There was like 3 people that knew in the whole world that was going to potentially be a situation for a little bit.
City of Stars, Boston Connors here. We will be there tonight. Nobody's supposed to know we're here. It's going to be tough.
tough. And if you're a man that's only known for wearing tank tops, you kind of got to cover it up. I didn't see him. Hey, I'm Pat. Nice to meet you. He's hanging in the back.
1 second. Here you go. If I put this on my face, I feel some shit. Who's not gonna be in here?
Nobody. This is you until you go out.
Come on, dude. Just gotta take a look around. There's some bunk beds there. You know, there's a shitter and a shower here in the back.
He sat in that bus 6, 7, 8 hours, 9, 10 hours.
I'm coming down that thing. Holy fuck, what a view that's gonna be. Hell yeah. Look at all those fucking people that are gonna be there.
Just waiting, for an opportunity to potentially have a WrestleMania moment.
It's ridiculous. This is awesome. WWE is just like the best at operating. They take care of the non-obvious. So we're very thankful to be here. And tonight should be fucking sick.
Hell yeah.
I think there's like 3 people that know I'm here.
Are we not supposed to come in here?
No, yeah.
All right.
4 now. Look at you.
I wouldn't say a word.
I'll see you at SoFi. You going to be in LA?
I don't know. George is,
It's a loaded question.
George, we don't know. George, you don't know. Maybe.
What's up, Stud?
Oh, nice.
As soon as I saw George showcase that tight end university tank top, I knew there was a chance old George about to do something special.
Are you kidding, boys?
Welcome to WrestleMania!
The night was getting late. We weren't sure. We didn't know if a moment was going to pop up where maybe my services could be utilized.
I haven't been in a ring since SummerSlam. Okay, like not even in one.
All I wanted was the Miz to have an opportunity to have a match, just a WrestleMania match.
Yeah, good guy. Stand there.
And then the Miz mentions, I sent out an open challenge, and we go,
oh my God.
There it is.
And I put out an open challenge, and no one responded. Why? Because I'm the Miz, and I'm awesome!
Let's go!
Wait a minute! I feel Pat McAfee's here!
I have walked out into a stadium as a WWE superstar probably 1 million times in my head.
WrestleMania was missing Pat McAfee in the Pat McAfee Show!
And I'm thankful to the WWE Universe that said hello whenever I came out on that massive fucking stage.
By the way, there's only 2 announcers undefeated in WrestleMania history, me and Pat. I can't believe McAfee's here! Hello, beautiful people!
What's up, Snoop? Hey,
What's up, Snoop?
You're a legend, dog. You're the best, dog.
Hello, Miz!
None of us saw this alleged open challenge that you set. But good news. This is my WrestleMania tank top. If you still would like a match, why don't you let me beat your ass right here, right now?
You all want to see The Miz versus Pat McAfee right here, right now! I'm the host of WrestleMania, and I cannot make matches official.
Miz, I do believe your tiny balls are showing. Tiny balls. Tiny balls. Baby meat as well. There's
80,497
people here. Somebody has to be able to make a match official somewhere.
I am the dog father and the host of WrestleMania, so I feel like I can make that match happen. Right now, we got a ref, we got you, Let's get cracking. I'm out. Let's go. I don't do it.
And McAfee, go right after Miz with the right hand, driving Miz back into the corner. Pat McAfee in action. This is a blatant sneak attack. He takes his duties as host of WrestleMania. Oh yes, Spinebuster! Derelict shows up, and you check out his tank top though. He's got sparkles on it. You're behind this, aren't you? No, I had no idea. You said the same thing in the whistle distracted in the ring. Kittle just took out Miz. Kittle telling McAfee to go up top. McAfee heading up to the top rope. And taking out the Miz. Now we're talking. Miz may never win another match. McAfee closing in on another WrestleMania victory. Surprise here tonight at WrestleMania Goes Hollywood.
That match was awesome. I had so much fun there. That was a good time. The punt was fucking hilarious. You got a tiny bulge champ going. I had a feeling. You're sitting here all day. Oh, I wanted to text you earlier. I was told not to text you. Well, of course. Nobody fucking texts you. I was told not to text you. You had a hell of a show. I'm so thankful to the people at the WWE. It was a super cool night, super cool moment, and I'm very thankful for it all.
5:30 a.m. Sunday. This day started 6:30 a.m. Saturday. So much cool shit happened in between now and then. Joke of an existence. I'm very thankful for everything. Let's go take a nap.
Hey, what? Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers. You pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Here we go, hour 3 of the Pat McAfee Show. I'm AJ Hawk, sitting in for Pat as he joins us from beautiful Ann Arbor, Michigan. Football is back, everybody. We are pumped.
Football! Sounds like you're pumped, brother.
See, honestly, though, my voice, I don't know if Pat's mic is working yet. Oh, no. Oh, they're throttling you already.
And we are back. I wanted to do the football drop, too. I was going to hit it one last time, but, like, your enthusiasm there.
Thank you.
On that open.
Yeah.
Really? I don't want to say crop, but
you can.
It was total crop.
I've started paying attention. As I get older, I pay attention. Like, I don't think my voice exudes the actual excitement that's in my heart and in my brain. I'm not joking. I think my facial expressions as well. Sometimes people think I'm like upset or angry. I'm like, I'm as happy as I've ever been, but my face does not show it that much.
So your emotions inside that dome aren't necessarily being displayed to the world outside of that dome.
And honestly, I never thought of that until I was probably 39 years old.
I have a similar problem.
Have you ever cheered for anything? I've never seen you like cheer.
I'm not.
Yeah, why don't you cheer?
Can you give us an example?
Cheer for us, AJ.
Like if one of your sweet boys was to score a touchdown, what would you cheer?
If my kid scored a touchdown, I'm not saying a word because I think that's the biggest douche parent alive when they go crazy running laps around the field.
I don't think you can't say you used to do that, but
maybe just
there's
like
a medium, bro.
Yeah, I get juice for other kids scoring touchdowns. Absolutely.
Again.
I just make it. If you score, you got to keep running.
Your dad, 400 more. Your dad scored 7 of those in one game 4 times.
No.
So one touchdown, Axel? I don't think so, pal. You think I was going to clap?
No.
You think you were going to get oranges?
No.
Your daddy did that 1,000 times. I love the fact that you are so hey. You know what I mean? Because there is times where I see your face on the other side of the screen while I'm talking, and I think, wow, this guy might want to murder somebody. But you're saying
that's not the case. People have been bringing that to my attention lately. Maybe it's the show has helped that where people think you're upset when it's absolutely not. That's an unbelievable can of suntan lotion. Like look at the stream you got on.
Good spritz.
That's sport.
Jeez.
I'll get done.
You always spray Dahn win, boys.
Two times.
Don't be pissing. Don't be pissing in a win.
2 times in a row you've done that and haven't. Every time I do that, I gag and cough after. And
and
it's
your eyes
impressive.
will water.
Close your mouth. You gotta close your mouth.
I
You gotta close your mouth.
yeah.
Close your eyes.
Oh, that's. I don't really.
Now, I will say.
I just eat.
I will say. In the last hour, I took a big old sip of something, and that was just sunscreen.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Just sunscreen. I've been drinking sunscreen for the last hour or so. So The gagging while spraying on. All right, enough. Let's do that.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's like when
geez.
Peyton,
Sure?
Pause.
the gagging.
But we're doing the games. We're doing
Gagging while spraying on the face.
We are
Football.
doing the this is our favorite reoccurring segment that we have had for many years on this program, I believe, right? When we go through and we pick the slate of games. So last night.
Both 2-0, yeah.
Well, last night, did you pick the over or under, Pat?
Yeah. Remember, I was universe. I wanted to go over.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there you go. Okay, so we're both 2-0. Right?
If it went under, I would have said I picked that as well because I picked both of them pretty good.
I actually, unfortunately, do have you as Chiefs and under.
Yeah, but you didn't keep up with the last thing I said as we're going off air.
True.
Universe, we're going over.
Which is over, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
We're both head-to-head 2-0 going into this first game tonight.
Exactly. Let's just move along. We're 2-0. We're undefeated on the season. That's good for us. We're beating the sports books, even though the sports books are beating everybody pretty good right now, I do believe, after one night of NFL football. 66% of the money was on the Baltimore Ravens +3. They obviously lose by 7, so shout out to the sports books there. And then over-under 46.5, and it's 47.
Oh, man.
Boy, it's going to be a long year, I think. And they're not even hiding it. They're not even hiding it right now.
Yeah, they're dialed. The first game tonight, Packers taking on the Philadelphia Eagles in Brazil. Ty, what'd you say about the Packers travel situation?
I said it's bullshit because they're the away team. They had to stay away further from the stadium. Eagles got a hotel closer to the stadium, and they said because of traffic, they anticipate that the Packers are going to have to travel between 1.5 and 2 hours to get to the game.
Okay.
You get to travel 2 hours to the game.
Fellowship as a team together, they're going to bond on that bus ride.
Tight on a bus, legs being bent up into you.
Yep.
2 hours travel. You get to see Brazil, though.
True.
To see Brazil, which might be an enlightening experience. I think. Do we know what color the jerseys are? What everybody's wearing tonight?
Still don't.
I've heard that. Wait, why is the NFL is making an effort to not let us know? Is that what it is?
I have no idea.
But
There's
they're
a little
wearing something
conversation.
alternate, some kind of alternate uniforms.
Yeah, they should have marketed this early and got in front of this as like an international alternate so they could sell them and act like it was like Thursday Night Football. But now the conversation is, are they allowed to even wear their jerseys? That has become the convo, and it's like, we don't know what's real and what isn't at this point, but I do know Green Bay Packers getting 2.5 points, 2 hours on the road. They had to travel because their runways weren't long enough in Green Bay to get down there. I will take the Green Bay Packers +2.5 this evening in Brazil over the Eagles. Now, the Eagles might win. Jake Elliott might hit a walk-off win by 1, but I like the Packers getting 2.5.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one, too. The Packers being underdogs was a bit surprising to me. I thought this would be more of like a pick-em game, Tone, didn't you?
Well, yeah, sure. But I was just doing some
Obviously
research here. Eagles are wearing white jerseys, black helmets with black pants. The Packers have. I can't find anything on the Packers, though.
The Green Bay Packers? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, the Green Bay Packers.
Okay. The Green Bay and the Philadelphia Eagles, which are like Heather Green is like the thing. They're actually, they're the ones that's an interest. It's an interesting thing. It is an interesting thing for sure. But I think the Packers get a win, even though Big Dom get the cover. Big Dom back on the sideline might get them to win though in a really close game.
Yeah, give me the Packers +2.5. I feel like that's a no-brainer for the one that both of us were going to pick. But you never know. Eagles could win as well. So we're moving on. Carolina Panthers taking on the New Orleans Saints. Panthers are 4-point dogs in New Orleans. Who do you have here, Pat?
Any information we need to know about this game, Tone? Boys?
Yeah, I actually have a fun fact. Dennis Allen is the worst coach against the spread in the history of the NFL. I don't know if that's pertinent information. He is 24-46 ATS, which is not good. Not good.
All right, I'll take the Panthers just strictly because what you just said, and also they played in front of 100 people last year at the end of the season. There's no way they're not going to be a little bit different. Give me the Panthers +4, even though Saints might win. +4 is good.
Yeah, I like the Panthers +4 too. Dan Morgan, the new GM of the Carolina Panthers, Bryce, that quarterback. Watch your heels. Don't let him clip you.
I love these. I mean, it's an active stadium. It continues to be. That's a good little golf cart, stretch golf cart. They had like 8 satellites on the back of it earlier today. I've got to know that guy pretty good. He's drove by a few times. I saw him while I ran to the bathroom up this tunnel. The team tunnel is what I went up to go to the bathroom. Ooh. What a beautiful place. Anyways, I like the Panthers. I think Bryce Young plays good football.
Yeah, same here. Here we go. All right. We got Texans, oh man, coming into the Loud House, huh?
Wow.
And taking on the Colts. The Texans are only 3-point favorites.
Yep.
That seems kind of odd.
What are we talking about?
I had no idea that'd be your reaction. But yeah, Texans are 3-point favorites. I thought for sure the Colts would be the favorite.
Oh, okay. That's what you're talking about. You said only 3-point favorites just a sentence ago. And unlike you, I do listen to things that are said on the program. And like the fact that the Colts were one swing pass to a third-string quarterback or running back away from beating the Texans last year and winning the AFC South in the Loud House, the fact that they're 3-point dogs with everybody returning, including Anthony Richardson, is a bit disrespectful. I don't love it. Give me the Colts +3 in the Loud House, and C.J. Stroud is going to be reminded that when he comes play in Indianapolis, it's going to be a long damn day. Thank you.
Okay. It might be. With that being said, give me the Texans -3 against the Colts.
I don't like that banner's not flying in that stadium.
Which one is that again? Which banner?
I don't like
the
You
participants.
were on that team, right?
Yeah, so is Chuck, so is D-Butt, I think AQsh. I just don't like the way that whole thing went down, and respect that they pull it out. And obviously we've all mocked and ridiculed it over the years. But the way that thing just kind of, I hope it didn't ruin the Loud House. That's people. Sure. I hope it didn't ruin the Loud. I think the Loud House is going to be loud. I think it's going to be very loud. They understand what's at stake here. Having this division game first week is a big deal. I mean, I was hoping for the Texans like week 7, week 8, let AR get a little bit more football under his belt, Shane Steichen offense kind of get rolling, because this is huge. This was the AFC South Championship last year, and it was the last game of the year. Texans and Colts, it's like starting off in a big way, got to show up. I like the Colts to do that, and I think Colts fans are going to be very loud, very, very, very loud.
Good news. Good news, Pat. Divisional home dogs since 2010 in week 1 are 22-7.
Oh.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Colts haven't covered. They've covered week 1 since Normandy, I think.
That one too. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you worried that if they
Normandy.
lose back-to-back games to Stroud in the Stroud House, that they'll start calling it the Stroud House?
It's the Loud House. The Stroud House is in Houston. Adele just dropped off a couple.
Wow.
Hello. Boss.
Is
dangerous.
Wow. Yeah, Johnny
Fossio.
Johnny Velocity.
Hello.
It's John. I was wondering if after all these years you'd like for me to go. Oh, this is nice. This is good, man. This is not fries. This is local produce.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Oh, nice.
That's local produce. We got chicken and steak sub here in Ann Arbor.
Nice.
Adele's a dog. Next game here. Let's go ahead and continue to roll. The Colts are in a good spot, and I don't need that Normandy comment coming after my life here, Gumpy. Okay, we're going to have a great weekend.
Yeah. Come on,
all right?
Gump.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm just letting you know the stats.
Okay, yeah, of
Just
course.
keep us
Journalistic
aware.
standards.
Yeah, that is
journalistic standards.
journalistic.
Yeah, thanks, Gump. We got Jags traveling to Miami to take on Goompy's Dolphins. The Dolphins are, 3.5-point favorites at home.
Man, I don't know anything about the Jacksonville Jaguars. I know that Mac Jones was kind of broadcast.
Has anyone talked about him? Sorry to cut you up. Has anyone talking about the Jags? Like I've legit barely heard anything.
I don't know shit about him. I know Trevor Lawrence is back, paid.
That's good
I know
for them.
Doug. I know Doug is back and paid. They lose Ridley, right? He's a pretty big weapon.
Bring in Gabe Davis, and then their first-round pick, Brian Thomas Jr., the LSU guy. Still got Evan Ingram, Christian Kirk, ETN.
Also got Armstead from the Niners. Pretty big pickup nobody's talking about.
Yeah.
What happened with Jalen in Miami?
He got paid.
Congrats to Jalen Ramsey getting paid. That is awesome. Tyreek got paid. Tua got paid.
Waddle.
McDaniel was on the show last week. Waddle got paid. It's like they lose Christian Wilkins, but it feels like they're trying to, capitalize on all the talent that they have down there. I love the way McDaniel operates. I like that he was on the program. I'll take the Miami Dolphins there at home in 1,000-degree weather. Not that Jacksonville isn't used to that. -3.5 opening week.
Yeah, this is what I've kind of waffled back and forth on this one, but you know what? Give me the Jags +3.5. I really have no clue what's going to happen.
Tough loss, AJ.
Trevor Lawrence.
Tough loss,
I'm
brother.
looking forward to watching Trevor Lawrence. I feel like this is a year Trevor Lawrence needs to kind of break out one way or the other. So I'm looking forward to that. The Dolphins.
He's already paid, bro. He got paid. He doesn't need this
I know,
shit.
but I know that part. I'm saying for like him as a quarterback, he wants to be in that top tier, like the top echelon of QBs. Right now, what is he probably stuck in the middle? You think middle tier? Yeah,
bottom middle.
He wants to break through, I believe. Good sub.
Looks delicious.
Looks delicious.
Yeah.
This is a pretty good stuff. I think they got like a little Funyun on top of this thing, too. Like a
little crunch. Crunch.
That's a
little
treat.
Yeah, crunchy shredded onions. And then, I don't know if they got mayo on here or not. Mayo would do the job. What's this? Where's Adele?
The singer?
No. Well, this guy will be able to tell you where Adele is. He never misses a show. Guy never misses a show. I do wonder where this is.
I got it.
yeah. Rossio's a dog. He brought this over. I don't know where this is from, but I would recommend it highly. I would recommend this sandwich highly.
Okay, here we go. Cardinals taking on the Buffalo Bills. And the Bills are, 6.5 point favorites at home?
Yeah,
Buffalo, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
What do you think here? Cardinals 6.5 point dogs. That's a little bit surprising to me.
AJ, how about Connor earlier? Just so mad at the Buffalo Bills. So mad. Have you seen the internet reaction?
So mad. No, people like that?
It has gone pretty big, yeah, because a lot of people at the time were wondering why the Bills would do that with the Kansas City Chiefs. And then Xavier scores 2 tuds in his opening debut and looks like he's not going to be able to be caught. And everybody's like, what the hell are we even doing here? But the Buffalo Bills fully reloaded. Josh Allen, another year. Heartbreak to end the season. They've had to restructure some things. I like the Buffalo Bills. 6.5. Jeez Louise. Gone, man. You taking the Bills, obviously?
I got a lot of confidence in the Bills. Got a lot of confidence in DeMar Hamlin starting at safety, but I feel very good about the Cardinals and everything that they're doing.
Why'd you say that?
Yeah, what?
Because I think it's awesome.
That DeMar is starting?
Yeah, I think that's fucking sick. But with that being said, Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey McBride, I feel like the Cardinals are kind of one of those teams that kind of similar to Jacksonville. Nobody talked about at all for the entire offseason.
No one's really giving the Cardinals a chance.
They got fire in their gut.
And then all of a sudden, they might just come out fucking rolling.
They do.
Who took the bus here? Here today? Anybody take the bus here? Boo, 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 boo. All right, just for that, just reminded of that, I'll take them plus 6.5, but this does feel like the Bills win. But remember, early in the season last year with the Pastronaut, what the Arizona Cardinals culture is they play tough. Like, they're going to play. Like, that's his new coach. Gannon is so 6.5 feels like a lot opening week, but Buffalo could steamroll this thing too and say, hey, everybody has said that we're not going to be great. We're a different team this year, but week 1, tough to make any prediction. I'll take the Cardinals plus 6.5.
Yeah, I'm going to ride with you on this one, actually. I'm taking Cardinals plus 6.5. I think the Bills most likely win this game. I love what Josh Allen's doing. I think he might be on the warpath this year and have a monster year. But give me Cardinals plus 6.5 as we move on to Tone's favorite game of the week. Tone, any update? The Steelers traveling to Atlanta, take on the Falcons. Any update on your boy Russell Wilson?
It doesn't sound like he did much at practice today.
Nothing I heard. I heard nothing.
Yeah, I heard nothing.
So re-aggravation of the same kind.
I know your source. I don't really trust that guy very much. So we're waiting to hear official word.
It's your coworker, damn it.
Yeah, come on.
Official correspondent of the show.
What the fuck is that?
I don't recognize that.
Tony.
Town, you better. His contract.
Who wins
it's
in a
written in
race?
blood, brother.
Sounds like Russ is not going to play. If we're reading the tea leaves, it sounds like so. JF is going to get the start, and he's going to run wild, brother. Him and
what's your confidence level in the Steelers' offense?
High, super high. The Falcons stink. I mean, we know that they've stunk for a long time.
They got Judon.
Okay, cool. Because
he's getting 3 sacks in the first series.
No.
You don't think Raheem Morris, with the investment that they put in defense, might be able to confuse Justin Fields sometimes, maybe in this entire thing?
As a DC, sure. Yeah, as a DC, yeah. But, as a head coach, he's still got a lot to prove. So we'll see.
Steelers are 13-1-1 their last 15 against Atlanta.
Jeez.
Oh, okay. Tomlin's a dog, too. And that defense is so good. If Justin Fields, who we assume is playing at this exact point, not that we know anything, it has not been said by the Steelers. They won't say anything until the game time, we assume.
Yep.
But if Justin Fields, Naj, and the boys, Freiermuth just got a deal done.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Freiermuth. Deserve
it. There's been speculation that they get a deal done all offseason. For them to get it done before week 1 is a big deal, and he's obviously earned it. And they think in Artie Smith's offense, he should be able to really blossom. But I think the tail of the tape this week is going to be Justin Fields, Naj, and that offensive line that has some injuries and Artie Smith schemes eating away at Kirk Cousins, the Atlanta Falcons, keeping them off the field. So for me, I don't know what this game would look like with Russell in it. I think it looks vastly different with Justin Fields in it. Them having to make that decision on a Friday is certainly interesting if that is the case with Russell Wilson's injury, or they knew all week if he wasn't going to play. Once again, we don't know if Russell's playing. We're assuming he's not. So I like the Atlanta Falcons -3.5 against the Pittsburgh Steelers week 1 in Atlanta. I don't know why. That sounded terrible coming out of my mouth. I didn't know. 3.5 is a lot of points. Give me the Steelers plus 3.5. Give me.
You sure?
Man, I'm waffling here. I am very much. Mike Tomlin's so good. The defense is so good. TJ Watt.
TJ's probably going to score. He'll probably score in the first half.
He's going to have to, I think. I think he's going to have to.
You've been in the same office as I have with Tone and Nick these past couple months. You sure?
I'll take the Falcons -3.5. Okay. Give me the Falcons -3.5.
Are you saying? Are we saying behind the scenes that Tone and Nick aren't that confident?
What
the hell just happened?
Yeah, I don't understand what happened either.
Okay, either way, I'm taking the Falcons at -.
No, you just heard everything you said right before we made the pick.
Yeah, I was very, very confident.
Well, your voice got higher as
JF
you
is
said
at the
confident.
wheel, brother. JF is at the wheel.
Officially?
Is it?
We don't know.
No, we're just. I thought they were going JF.
We still got 2 more days. Russ could rehab enough to get back, right?
Wolverine blood.
Hey, Wolverine. Yeah, here we go.
But that's
yeah,
a bit concerning, though, for Russ if he re-aggravated the same thing that he sat like 5 weeks after.
I'll say that's why you bring in a former first-round pick in Justin Fields, a supremely talented individual who's going to lead this team.
Smart organization. Don't keep talking yourself into it.
Kirk Cousins' revenge game.
Artie Smith revenge game.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot.
Double-edged sword.
Who's Kirk?
Justin Fields' revenge game.
Atlanta.
Chicago didn't want him anymore. They wrote him on. I mean, there's so many revenge games we can just kind of paint into this one. I'll take the Falcons -3.5.
Oh, okay. I'm the Falcons -3.5 as well. As we move on, Minnesota taking on the New York Football Giants. The Giants are 1.5-point dogs at home. Who do you have here, Pat?
So
yeah,
Darnold starting for Minnesota.
Yep.
Yeah. What do we know there?
Danny
Nothing.
Dimes for
Dan
the
Jones
Giants.
looked good in the preseason.
He did.
The Giants
Dan
D-line.
Hey, Dan Jones has a very public relationship. Is that real? Have you guys read? Have you
really?
heard that?
Is that
With
real?
who?
Allegedly.
Talk to a girl?
I don't know. No, she's got a podcast though. Talk to her.
It's a good name. Good name.
Oh, okay.
That is good. Haley's really done well with her time for.
I believe those
one
rumblings are untrue.
Oh no.
Untrue. Okay, all right. So Daniel Jones focused on ball. Okay, we like that. Boy, I know a lot about the Giants. Too much about the Giants after that Hard Knocks for me to pick them. But then, like the other side of it all, Bruce, how do you feel? Bruce, how do we feel about the New York Football Giants right now?
I mean, it's all on Danny. We got Danny against Sam Darnold. Hopefully he doesn't turn it over, throw a pick 6 on our own 5, and we can get a win here. My confidence meter is pretty low, though, I will say.
Oh, no. Come
on,
That's not the Bruce we know.
It's just, he's going to do something stupid, and the Vikings are going to get a pick 6.
Maybe DeVinci touchdown.
No. I mean, Dave's
Darnold
is calling plays, so we should have some shots, explosives of our own. So that's exciting, I guess. But
All right, give me the Vikings.
Yeah.
Give me the Vikings.
What a sell.
I wanted to take I honestly was taking the Giants. Then I hear Bruce speak. No, give me the Vikings here at minus 1.5 on the road. Bruce, confidence level way down. What's going on today?
Way down. He's underselling it. He's been with the Giants his whole life, and then also through this offseason where it has not been great. That Hard Knocks thing that's the first time we've seen any of those conversations happen. And I assume as we roll forward, it won't be as abnormal if they continue to do the offseason one. If they get any other teams to agree to do it, which they might not need, they might force it onto them. But like watching the Giants situation unfold in the way that we did, it's not the Giants' fault. I assume it's a very normal situation that takes place in NFL front offices every single offseason. But it's the first time we've seen it all through. And it's like, I don't know if they feel like they won there. Malik Neighbors, though, could come in and flip an entire culture. But I think Kevin O'Connell's done that. Give me the Vikings. I'll take the Vikings on the road.
Okay, we both agree on that one. As we move on, Tennessee travels to Chicago, takes on the Bears. The Bears at home are 3.5-point favorites. I'm reading that correct, right? Mm-hmm. Bears 3.5-point favorites. The Caleb Williams era is here. But Tennessee, I mean, people are talking about Tennessee like they're gonna surprise some people. So who you thinking here, Pat?
Connor, what do you think on this one?
I'm so torn. Just because, after Hard Knocks with the Chicago Bears, you kind of
about what Bill said.
You buy into those teams, but yeah, what Bill said, of course. But then, Tennessee, you also think at the same time they bring in Ridley, Pollard, Cushenberry, Snead on defense. Got Jeffrey Simmons still. I'm pretty torn. 3.5 feels like a lot for a rookie quarterback to be favored by, but I don't know. I have a hard time going against everything that the Bears just showed. And DeAndre Hopkins, they're saying, is playing through like a torn MCL, so he's not fully healthy. I don't know. I'm leaning.
This is a tough game. This is a tough. I think this is a game everybody's staying away from. If I had to guess,
for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. This feels like a line that nobody wants to dance with.
Yeah. I'd like a Dunze to score a touchdown like that.
Yeah, me too.
That's not the second.
If I had to guess, the public is probably highly. Oh no, they're on the Titans.
Oh, jeez. Well, 3.5 just feels for a rookie debut.
That Bears defense is good. We got to remember that.
Eberflus is a dog.
Hey, give me the Titans. Give me the Titans
remember,
plus 3.5. Pat.
You're taking the Titans plus 3.5?
Yeah.
All right, I'll take the Bears minus 3.5 then, just because it doesn't make sense to me. That feels like
That's a
but
weird
this
game.
game could go either way. We would like to let both fan bases know that we don't know shit about fuck with this game.
No,
nobody does.
Yeah, and we are fans of both of them. We are fans of both of them. You need to know that.
Yeah.
All right, Patriots Bengals here, 8.5 point.
That's not real. There's no way the Patriots are 8.5 point dogs against anybody, right, Pat?
Well, Connor, you tell me, pal.
I mean, I think it happened about 5 or 6 times last year, but
it's a new era.
But yeah, week one with everything going on in Cincy, that's like so disrespectful. But hey,
it is.
That's where we're at right now.
It's Patriots football.
Oh no,
Not
they don't have any faith. The books have no faith in Coach Mayo and Elliott Wolf. Oh no.
I bet Jamar's going to play. I think he plays.
Yeah,
definitely. I think he's going to play. I think they get a deal done. Give me the Bengals minus 8.5 in the jungle. They got new TVs in that stadium. Never forget.
Oh, man, their fans going to be so pumped. Yeah, give me the Bengals minus 8.5 too. I hope Jamar catches 3 touchdowns. That'll be so fun.
Now, Bengals fans hear that we picked them though, I'm about sick of them bitching all the time. Like we're pointing out things that are very real. This is journalistic standards. We apologize. This is what we have to do. We're doing a program, but like we have been on the record a lot as Bengals fans. Like I am a Joey B fan. I'm a Bengals fan. Lou Anarumo fan. You know, so I'm about sick of it. I'm about sick of all of it.
Show me one other team in the NFL selling TVs or walking across the street to practice.
Yeah,
one.
never. Yeah,
One.
that's just,
I mean, the Packers, you ride your bike to practice in Green Bay. Is that better?
selling TVs.
Yeah,
TVs.
They might sell. I mean, they're trying to help people out. They had 350 extra TVs. They want people to get.
Is there RAV4s running over the bicycles in Green Bay, or are the streets shut down like out of a movie?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a you know, it's a unique place, unique spot. It's real gritty over there. But let's move on. So we both
we respect it. We
Yes.
respect it, though.
Oh,
We do respect it, but we have to point it out. It is a unique situation over there in Cincinnati. But they got the team, and it's like maybe this is the one with Joey B with a full training camp. They go on a full run. Give me the Bengals minus 8.5. You agree with that, AJ?
Yep, I agree. I have Bengals minus 8.5 at home. As we move on, the Denver Broncos traveling to Seattle. Broncos are 6-point underdogs in Seattle. Who you have here?
That's Seattle.
What does Seattle look like in the non-Pete Carroll era too?
That rookie show was sick. They did it out in a public place.
You're right.
if you
That
do
was sweet
recall.
where the coaches got involved.
Yeah, that was very sweet. I enjoyed that. I like that I was in a public square, seemingly. Seattle Seahawks, Geno gets his money, and Geno is a dog. Geno is incredibly talented. DK Metcalf still plays for them, right? I mean, that is an unguardable human being, seemingly. McDonald, you got to assume that the defense is going to be great. Bo Nix and Denver Broncos are without, what, how many million? 43 million on the cap? 40? What is it this year? 36?
Yeah, I think it's 40 something this year. That's a lot.
That's a lot of money.
Maybe even more.
I'll take the Seahawks minus 6 at home, but I think Bo's going to look good. Like I think Bo's going to look good. There's going to be a lot of promise, but McDonald, rookie quarterback in Seattle, feels like minus 6 is the right play.
Yeah, I'm a Bo Nix fan. I hope he plays well. I think he is going to have a good year. But yeah, I like Seattle here minus 6 at home. That place is going to be rocking, man. Like
rocking. And remember, 2 years ago, Geno led the number 1 offense in the NFL. Sorry, AJ, go ahead.
Oh no, you're right. Yeah, but I mean, it's a big adjustment going from a non-Pete Carroll Seahawks team. Like, think we're used to seeing Pete chewing his gum up and down the field, like throwing balls in warm-ups. It's a different time. I think Seattle should be in a good place, but man, it's going to be kind of funny to see what it might look like a little bit on those sidelines, I guess.
This sub is so good.
What one is that?
Lefty's cheesesteaks.
Lefty's cheesesteaks. They're doing a great job with the chicken one. I haven't had the steak one yet, but they have done a great job with the chicken. It's not just cheesesteaks.
It's not. Not just
cheese.
Lefty's
I don't
on
know
the
what
hand, the left hand part of the logo. That's cool.
Smart.
Yeah, throw up the L, bro. It's good cheesesteak. All right, so we're both on the Seahawks, or what are you doing?
Yep, both on the Seahawks -6 at home. We move on to the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Chargers. The Chargers are 3-point favorites at home. Where are you going? What's he want? They get a lot of use out of that field.
There was a really bad throw right behind us.
Were they making fun of somebody?
No, there was like a jump spin, try to catch thing that was nowhere near a completion. I don't think these are recruits, athletes here. I think this might be an academic group.
It does appear to be a different.
It might be an academia crew here, and I want to let them know we respect and appreciate them. We do, but some of the highlights I've seen going on behind me, vastly different than about an hour ago.
A lot of loose jeans from them.
Yeah, but we love this group. Hey, way to go. Thank you guys for everything you guys do.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Love what you guys do with your brains, obviously. And, you need that. These are former employees' families.
Oh, there you go.
Former
employees.
Good to see you guys.
This is why you have field turf, guys. You ever wonder why
These are
places have
These
field
are
turf?
Harbaugh's kids. These are
nice.
Harbaugh's kids.
Oh, sweet.
These are Jim Harbaugh. No, they're not Jim Harbaugh's kids, but former employee. Anyways, Raiders, Chargers, huge game. AFC West, obviously, is a talking point that'll be throughout the entire season. And what the Chiefs debuted last night, I think, is obviously going to be the main topic of conversation out of this division. Jim Harbaugh debuts as a head coach in the NFL again with Justin Herbert, who everybody thinks is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. We all agree with that sentiment. And then you go to the Raiders, they got Gardner Minshew, who almost led the Indianapolis Colts to the playoffs last year. Made the Pro Bowl, absolute dog. Christian Wilkins and Max Crosby on the same D-line, getting 3 points. Give me the Raiders, +3, even though I think Herbert and the Chargers win a close one, which is very abnormal for this Chargers team. Over the last few years, they lose the close ones. They make bad decisions. I think they win a close one, but the Raiders cover +3.
Didn't anyone remember Antonio Pierce said having Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins rushing together? He said it's like a thing of beauty. He said, I read a quote about how pumped he is to watch these two play together. That put me over the top for the Raiders. So give me Raiders +3 taking on the Chargers in the Jim Harbaugh era. I'm curious to see what the Chargers look like, honestly.
Me too. And Joe Alt so big. I can't wait to see how big he looks.
So big.
Too big.
We're moving on. Washington Commanders taking on the Tampa Bay Bucks. That's another team I feel that has flown under the radar. Tampa Bay for some reason. Bake gets a new deal. He's back there. And the Bucks are 3.5-point favorites at home against Dan Quinn-led Washington Commanders here. Which way are you leaning?
I saw Jonathan from the command zone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
do a
you're right.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
They tricked us.
one of these things.
5, 6, 7, 8.
You got it.
6, 7, 8.
7, 8.
8.
I mean, Jonathan's vibes are hot.
Just the wrist.
I think the there was an undercover video that came out.
That wasn't great.
No, I did see. You're right.
That's classic Commanders.
I wasn't thinking about that. I watched that on the drive up, actually. Man,
Yeah. It's a wild world, wild time to be alive.
What are we
Gotta
doing?
watch those buttons, you know.
What are we doing?
Be careful.
Golly.
All right, he had an espresso martini there too. I think if you saw
Couple.
Not bad.
Give me the Bucks at home -3.5. I like the Washington Commanders, everything they're building, how they're, trying to reestablish themselves. And I think there's a petition with hundreds of thousands of votes too. There's a lot going on with the Washington Commanders. So I'll take the Bucks because I think they've been able to retain their team, and they have been forgotten about. I think it's easy for Bake to draw from there. Give me the Bucks in 1,000-degree weather down there on the Bay in Tampa, -3.5.
I'm going to have to go the other way. I'm taking Washington +3.5. Austin Eckler's down there in Washington, I know. You're right. It's going to be hot. It's going to be a tough little scenario for Washington, but I like Dan Quinn and what they're doing. I'm going to take a shot on that. So Washington +3.5 on the road week 1. Who really knows what's going on as we move on to Dallas, traveling to Cleveland, taking on the Cleveland Browns. That can't be right. The Dallas Cowboys are 2.5-point dogs to the Cleveland Browns?
Yeah.
Browns at
What are
home.
you saying? What are you saying?
I don't know. I guess we've already crowned the Browns champs already. Like they're back.
Playing at home.
They're here. I guess the home.
Browns
People
at
put
home are
so
a
much
thing.
into the home. Like home gives you 3 points? I understand that's what the bettors do.
Cleveland didn't give up a first down at home for like 10 weeks. What was the stat
You're
last
right.
year? I
Their
forget what it was.
defense is so good.
Something around that.
Like
You're
no
right.
touchdown. Yeah, something absurd.
You're right.
Like 7 first downs or something through the first 11 weeks at home. Or like not points, like first downs.
So they don't even need Deshaun to light it up for them to win, most likely.
Yeah, but then you think about the Dallas Cowboys. It's like all the bullshit that has kind of surrounded that entire team all offseason. And Chuck Pagano yesterday. And, Bamboo, obviously. Yeah. Bamboo is a perfect depiction of patience. You know, because for the first 5 years, you're watering something that you can't see. You plant a seed that you're not going to find for a long time, but you stick with it. The stick-to-itiveness is the reason why the bamboo becomes, boom, 30-foot tall tree out of nowhere 5 years into this thing. It's all about the base. It's all about the foundation. It's all about taking care of something that you can't see in hopes that something will be great in the future. And this year is the future for the Dallas Cowboys because Mike McCarthy last year of his contract, Dak Prescott last year of his contract, Chuck Pagano and Michael Lombardi yesterday both said, it's a prove-it year for these boys. That's exactly what it is. Jerry Jones is saying, go prove it. I think they will. Give me the Cowboys plus 2.5 in Cleveland. And I don't love that pick. I want to let everybody know. But I think Dak goes out and does his thing. And I think the Browns are going to be a great team. I think they're going to be in contention for the AFC North. I think they're going to be in the playoffs. I think everything's going to be very real for them. But give me the Cowboys plus 2.5.
So I was leaning Cowboys this whole time, but for whatever reason, I'm picturing Myles Garrett, maybe sack, strip, cause fumble, maybe he picks it up and scores. I don't know. So give me the Cleveland Browns -2.5 at home. But man, both those teams could be very, very good actually this year, I think.
And one of them could be very terrible.
Yeah. We have no clue, really. That's the thing. Even these coaches don't know what team they have until they roll the ball out there and see how they do, I guess. Last one we're going to pick tonight, Sunday Night Football, Rams taking on Evan Foxy's Detroit Lions. Dan Campbell obviously killing it with the Applebee's commercials. That has to give the team at least 3 to 4 points, I think, in the sports book. So Rams at Lions. Where are you leaning here, Pat?
For me, there's been a lot of chatter about Matthew Stafford and the Rams. I know there's a lot of quarterback gurus. Dan Orlovsky, more specifically, it says Matthew Stafford's still a top 5 quarterback. I believe the Stafford family would not be traveling to Detroit to support Matthew because of what happened last time they were in that stadium. I know when we were in Detroit for the draft, all we heard was Jared Goff chants everywhere. Jared knows that. He's going to have to show up and perform. Give me the Lions -4.5 at home, and they start a run that the Detroit fan base hasn't experienced in a long, long time. Do the Lions go on to win the Super Bowl this year?
Wow.
Is that legitimately what we're staring down here? We'll find out Sunday Night Football, whether they got it or they don't. Foxy, how do you feel about 4.5? That feels good, right?
Give us your real thoughts.
Yeah,
though,
it actually started at...
Are you hopeful? Are you hopeful? Or are you legit? You think, these Lions are going to do it. They're going to make a run and win the Super Bowl.
No, 1,000%. I think they can win the Super Bowl. I think a lot of people can think they can win the Super Bowl. When you turn on all these TVs, so many people this year have picked the Lions to win the Super Bowl. It's crazy.
Give me the Rams. Give me the Rams plus 4.5.
It's crazy how many people have picked the Super Bowl. But I don't disagree with them. But the 4.5, I like it. Started at 3.5, but I think the big difference is actually it being at Ford Field. That barn is the loudest barn in the league, and they're going to be screaming.
It's not the Loud House.
Okay.
It's not the Loud House.
It is the loudest barn in the league, and so they're going to be ready to go. Since the NFC Championship last year, Lions fans have been going absolutely fucking bonkers waiting for this game. So, yeah, it'll be really, really awesome there.
Okay. All right. Well, so, Pat, I'm taking the Lions. I know, Pat, you flipped and took the Rams. Give me the Lions -4.5. That is a lot, especially week 1. But at home, I don't know if Kid Rock is performing or not. If so, they could bump that up to maybe -9.5. But give me the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, I'll take the Lions -4.5 as well. And, it's right down the road from where I'm standing right now, and this is what it's all about.
Yeah.
This is what it's all about. Will the Lions be able to keep up with the Michigan Wolverines whenever it comes to football titles? We shall see. They start their voyage on Sunday Night Football. Will they have one of these? Well, they have one of these by the time this thing's over. We shall see, won't we? We shall see, AJ. It's a different time for the NFC North, brother. It is a different time for the NFC North. The Lions are the real deal. I don't know if anybody's ever lived through that.
Think about the NFC North not only looks much different, with the quarterbacks and the coaches and everyone who's there, but from top to bottom, the NFC North could be very, very good this year.
Yeah, very deep. In the AFC South, people are talking about it being maybe the strongest division in all of football.
Oh, where'd you see that?
What's that?
Well, yeah, you heard it. You heard my question, I'm pretty sure.
No, they want to call it the AFC Beast. They want to call it the AFC Hardest, the AFC Toughest, the AFC Grittiest. That's what they want to call it. That's the AFC South football, baby. But we're going to learn about a lot of these teams, whenever we're back here on Monday. And I think it sucks that we will not have a real feel on any of these teams until week 5. So a lot of pissing in the wind here, a lot of kind of shooting in the dark, and we're lucky to be doing all of it, AJ. We're lucky to be doing all of it.
It's here. Can you believe it? We watched an NFL football game last night, a very good football game too, that lived up to its hype. After it was delayed for 30 or so minutes, whatever it was.
Yeah, I didn't mind the delay, by the way. I thought they handled it well on NBC. It didn't really feel as long as it was. But then when that game kicks off and then you're staring at the clock, you're like, it's going to be a late one. And it certainly was. And let's remember, we're allowed to get ourselves into midseason form as well when it comes to that. If you doze off in the middle of the fourth quarter, don't hold it against yourself.
Yep.
Don't feel bad. Because next week, you're going to be better. You're going to be more awake. You're going to be more spry. You're going to feel like football is running through your veins. But I feel like primetime games starting tonight again, then Sunday and Saturday and Monday are all going to be great. So let's look forward to not sleeping much, and let's look forward to enjoying the hell out of some football. And while you're doing that, remember that you can order anything you possibly could need from any restaurant, any store that's around you with our friends at DoorDash. Okay, DoorDash, we appreciate you. And let's have the greatest weekend of all time, boys. Let's do that.
Hell yeah. I agree, Pat. Yeah, you have, I assume you have meetings and game day situations. We'll be watching you tomorrow from Ann Arbor.
You got one of these, AJ? You got one of these, huh?
What are those called? I do not have one of those.
Well, it's a title, a championship. And these ones right here are for national championships and Big Ten championships.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, no.
I tell you what, you're right. Michigan's, they're the king right now. Hey, you can't argue with that. I told you, I watch them in person. Ultimate respect for how those dudes play. I love it. They're old school, fundamentally sound, like gritty, tough football team. So I can respect it.
How about Wink Martindale being like the perfect D coordinator?
I mean, that's not even fair to bring Wink in there. Are you kidding me? Like, you bring Wink into a team like that that's already playing as hard and as physical as they are, and now all of a sudden Wink's coming in and he's going to throw everything at him?
That's the one there, like physical. Like, Wink is just like, hey, we're dogs. Like, and now they got Michigan men who are also, and they're counted out. It's like, I'm fascinated to see tomorrow. Good gut check. And then this Texas team could be the real deal. They're talking about them maybe winning.
I think they are.
Going in winning the SEC and the national championship. I think they are as well. It's like, we got a good one here tomorrow. I'm pumped about it. But the whole slate is great. You know, like Nebraska, Colorado, what are we going to learn from that? What are we going to learn from Nebraska, Colorado? Kansas got a big one tomorrow. NC State, Tennessee is a big one tomorrow. I mean, there is a lot of great games. And Cy-Hawk Bowl, obviously, is one that everybody has their eyes on. Is Iowa going to be able to play 2024 football instead of rugby like they had in the past and continue to do that? We shall see. It's like we're very lucky, we are very fortunate, and we can't wait for this weekend. We'll see you on Overreaction Monday, AJ.
We absolutely. Here you go. Pat, here, put them in. Here we go. Ready? Team on me, team on three, Pat. You got us? Here we go. We'll be back Overreaction Monday. You'll be back in your seat. I'll be in the attic. Cannot wait. Awesome slate of football. Team on me, team on three. 1, 2, 3.
Team.
See y'all.
Goodbye.